The views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at talkrealsolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of talkrealsolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not talkrealsolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
All right. Welcome to the show. This is Talk Real Solutions, and I am your host tonight, Tyrone Thompson. I want to thank you for tuning in. Today is September the 4th, 2025. And if you want to join the conversation tonight, all you have to do is dial the number at 1-717-908-1834 and hit the participant code at 917-324, and I'll open your mic and you can say whatever you want to say. So, just, I go a little while without my little warning here, and things go crazy. So I'm going to give you my warning again. If you guys decide to call in and participate, please be mindful of other people on the line. And I don't know why the fuck Howard called with the damn admin privileges. I don't know what's going on with that. We've had this conversation. And y'all call in on the line and just respect one another whenever you got your opinions. And I'll try to get to you. I try not to talk over people, but I'm not the problem. It's the people who's calling in with such heavily opinionated views that they want to scream and talk all over each other and cuss each other out and all that kind of stuff, Just be mindful that we are on YouTube. What's up, Frodo? And we can have a conversation on this wonderful Thursday. Guys, I'm telling you, I have fatigue, political fatigue, Trump fatigue, America fatigue. I'm tired of white America, racist America. I'm just fed up with it all. I don't know what else to say. Of course, I see what is going on social media. The most entertaining thing that I found this week was Cardi B and her trial. That was entertaining to me. And I don't know why, but Cardi B was funny this week, sitting on that stand. And I enjoyed watching her. Even though it was a bullshit trial, and that lady, I think that lady was trying to get some money. Sued Cardi B for millions of dollars over something that happened in 2018, I think. And Cardi B was going to the doctor's office or something. I don't know. I just know that she was entertaining and she was funny whenever she was answering the question. So I thought that was pretty cool. But other than that, I've discovered this application called Plex. And Plex is an application that you can set up your own home server, if you will, that stream movies through your network and over the internet. And it set up something like Netflix, and you put your own movies there, and you just watch whatever movies you want to. And I've been busy with that. I know this is a little boring because I'm tired of watching all this other bullshit, but this is what I've been doing with my time. I've actually went out and started doing some mechanic work on my lawnmowers and learning how to break down a carburetor and replace replace shit on my lawnmower. You know, right now it's in 5,000 pieces in my backyard. But you know, with the help of YouTube and a little bit of time and Amazon and FedEx, I'll put it back together. Um, you know, I just keep myself busy. Is my point. I'm gaining weight, which I shouldn't, but you know, all of this stress, all of this politics, it makes you nervous. You don't know how the country's going to go. So eventually, I'm going to have to put myself on a routine to try to lose some weight again. This will be like my eighth time losing weight. I don't know why I gain weight so easy and it sucks getting it off, but I get it off of me. You know, it's just I don't know, but I got to put that on my future agenda to get rid of some of this fatness that I gain. You know, things like that keeps me busy. But even though I try to keep myself busy, you can't help but notice what's going on in politics. This is propaganda at its finest. I mean, you can't avoid the political shit that is going on in this country. If you even if you wanted to, you can't avoid it. Whenever you go to the supermarket and you see how high every fucking thing is, you know that's related to politics. Whenever you see people at the doctor's office or at CVS and they're acting a certain way, standing at the counter, discussing their bills, you know that has to do with politics. You know, um, it's just you can't avoid it. And of course, when you turn on social media or any type of media, the television or anything, you know, there's breaking headlines about what is going on in this goddamn country with politics. So you can't avoid it. And I do have opinions on what's going on in politics. Um, the last thing that I remember seeing was yesterday was the Epstein victims having a press conference in Washington. And I didn't watch the entire thing, but I caught bits and pieces of it. And I wish I would have watched the whole thing with the parts that I caught because I don't know. It seemed like those women are serious this time. They're saying things that might be able to catch hold. You know, I don't know, but I'm not going to get wound up in that shit. Because it is what it is. We've seen Donald Trump, and we heard people associated with Donald Trump brag about what they do on Epstein Island with these minors and all this kind of stuff. So we know people with common sense. We know that something happened there. And when I say something happened, it won't nothing small because you're talking about minors and adult men with power and influence taking advantage of children and doing all kind of crazy stuff with it. So something happened there. And these accusers of Epstein or these victims of Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, they had a press conference, and it seemed to me like whenever they were speaking, it was.
Hey, Tyrone, you know no one can hear you, bro. Can't hear you, bro.
You can't hear me. I can hear myself on YouTube. Test. Oh, so, what the hell?
Muted.
Can you hear me now? I guess not. Oh, Lord. Hold on. I've been talking this whole damn time. Let me see if this does it.
This service is provided in high definition by freeconferencecallhd.com. There are 3 participants in the conference. Q&A session has started. The recording has started.
Test. I guess you can hear me now. Now mute your motherfucking phone. Nah. All right, I appreciate that, man. I'm not gonna get ready. I'm not getting ready. The people on YouTube heard me, so I'm going to continue running my mouth the way I was running it. I'm sorry. I'll just do the people on the conference didn't hear a damn thing I was saying. I don't know what's wrong with my ghetto ass setup here, but nah, I'm pretty sure they can hear me because I see the indicator going back and forth, so I know they can hear me. But my point is, I'm tired of what's going on in this country. I'm tired of politics. I picked up a lot of habits. I started working on my lawnmower. I started doing things around the house, keeping myself busy. I've gained weight. I've got to figure out a way to lose weight. And the last thing I was just getting ready to speak on was these Epstein victims that did the news conference, because you can't help but pay attention to politics nowadays. And I think these women are, I think they're serious. I'm not going to put any faith in it. I'm not going to look forward to anything coming out of any of this, because it's been too long. It's been decades that the United States has been dealing with this issue. So what makes this year any different? Literally, the United States have protected, covered up, defended, and just spoke up for the predators in this country, the child molestation, the sex traffickers. The United States has defended those people of influence. And that's the country that we live in. You can't deny that. If it's been this long and you have victims of abuse and trafficking that actually go to the justice system and say, hey, I was trafficked. Hey, I was abused. Hey, I was a child when these things happened to me, and this country turn a blind eye and just don't do anything for decades. I don't think anything's going to happen now. I know the political left is all geared up in hopes that this will bring down Donald Trump. And that's what the left, that's how the left has postured themselves, is they're reaching for something that is devastating enough to destroy Donald Trump. And that tactic has failed time and time again. When you think about Donald Trump's involvement with Russia, when you think about Donald Trump's first impeachment, his second impeachment, when you think about Donald Trump and his violation of the Emoluments Clause, when you think about Donald Trump cozying up to Vladimir Putin and North Korea, and Donald Trump just talking bad about his own intelligence agencies. When you look at Donald Trump just violating the laws of this country, demanding loyalty as the president, when you look at him corrupting to the Supreme Court, firing judges, hiring Elon Musk, an unqualified person to work in the White House. I mean, there's a list of things that anybody else would have been disqualified for. The accusation and the being held liable for sexual assault. When you look at the Letitia James decision in New York, when you look at what he did down in Georgia when he was trying to steal the election, January 6th, pardoning criminals. I don't know. The list goes on and on. Those are things that just came off the top of my head, right? So when you look at all of that, and nothing that the political left, the political left can't muster up an argument with all of that freaking corruption and guilt. The political left can't muster up an argument to defeat this man with all of that baggage, right? What makes this press conference any difference? I don't know. I think that these ladies are telling the truth. I think that they do have a story to tell, and it needs to be told. They don't need to shy away from pointing out who's involved, no matter who they are or how influential those people are. These ladies need to tell the truth about who visited that island and who participated in those heinous acts of abuse to children on that island. And they need to name names. But what I'm trying to tell you is these names that these ladies said that they were going to put out, it's too late. I mean, it still need to be done. But why the fuck didn't we hear from these victims and them naming names decades ago? I understand, because they are victims, there's an element of fear and retribution against them. I understand that. But at the same time, waiting decades to muster up the courage, I think it's going to fall short. You know, what they're opening themselves up for is Trump's army of trolls and sycophants and people like Sarge and ABC picking those people apart, and their family members bit by bit. That's what's going to happen. They're going to get attacked on social media. They're going to get attacked on X. Fox News is going to start out by demonizing one of them. They're going to dig into their background and all of this kind of shit, right? And then because they're human and they're not perfect, because they're going to find flaws in these individuals' past, they're going to highlight the flaws. This is a standard tactic for these people. They're going to highlight the flaws to try to get you turned away from the actual person as a victim of Jeffrey Epstein. And it's just going to be continuous. This is what they do. Don't get me wrong. I'm just telling you what I know from experience of how these people act. But I want those people to come forward, name names, put people out there, and let the American people know what is going on. I want the truth to be told, no matter what. But at the same time, I have experience of watching how these people respond to things, right? Donald Trump and the Steele dossier, which has been discredited by the right wing of this country as a fake document, right? As something that didn't happen. But I went through the Steele dossier on Blog Talk Radio. And as things happened in that campaign season, it was right there in that dossier. Some things were unproven, and the unproven things is what the right wing latched on to demonize the entire dossier. That's their tactic. The Trump Tower meeting and Paul Manafort and all of those other guys that was in the Russia collusion time period, they was in that fucking dossier. What was unproven or we had no evidence for was the things like Trump getting urinated on or watching urination fest in Russia. We couldn't prove that. They couldn't prove that. So they lashed on to that and they says the whole thing is fake. And that's their tactic. That's their tactic. That's what got Sarge running around here talking about it was a fake Russia hoax, right? Because the right wing is so good at propaganda and spreading misinformation and programming ex-zombies that they will convince you that the truth is a fucking lie without exploring the entire situation. So, and one of the things that I said that I seen a news broadcaster say years ago, and that was when Barack Obama was running for office, is that he pointed out how politicians, in particular Republicans, is playing off of this human flaw. It's a flaw in all of us. And that's how long our memory is. We have very short-term memory. I don't know if you realize that, but and the fact that humans have short memories is being exploited by the Republican Party. And you can see it all the goddamn time. Donald Trump knows this. That is the reason why he repeats the same identical thing over and over and over and over again. That is the reason why when you see a politician giving their political stump speech, that speech does not change during that campaign season unless some event changes that speech. They will say that same speech over and over and over and over again. Politicians know that humans have a short-term memory. So they will latch on, they will do their little testing and stuff and see what fucking sticks, and they will keep those same words in their political speeches. That is just what they do, because they know humans have a short memory span. You can Google it. We just do. And it's not nothing bad. I think it was a survival technique for our ancestors, in order for us to progress. There was a whole lot of things we had to let go so we can discover new things and, progress, discovering fucking fire or meat or, how to stay out of the fucking water or whatever the fuck. We had to learn those things and tell stories about those things over and over and over again so we could pass that shit on, so, I'm telling it my country way of how my understanding of how human short-term memory is, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. But my point with bringing it up is that these politicians know this. These politicians know that humans have short span memory. Especially you can see it in the right wing of this country. When Donald Trump said on that Access Hollywood bus that he grabs women by the vagina, he knew all it took was a news cycle or 2 news cycles, a month at the most. And if he talked about something else enough, or if he made headlines enough about something else, that Access Hollywood shit would go away. And it works. It's a tactic. Donald Trump knew that when he said that Kamala Harris claims black, or she She was black at one time, she was Indian at one time, and now she's black. He knew all it took was a couple political cycles and it would go away. Because humans have a short-term memory. When Donald Trump said this shit,
they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame. The people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So
taking this from
but
television.
The people on television saying their
manager.
dog was eaten by the people that went there.
See, whenever he said that shit, it didn't matter to Donald Trump in that moment. He could have said whatever the fuck. Well, he did say one of the most outrageous things that I've ever heard. But he knew that as soon as that day was over, soon as that news cycle started, he has a team of people telling him how long that will live in the news. Right? Donald Trump knew that whenever he cheated in loading the Supreme Court, he knew how long the news cycle would last before people would say, ooh, we got a conservative Supreme Court. He knew and the Supreme Court knows that whenever they made that decision to give Donald Trump immunity, that the American people was going to move on to the next thing. I want you to understand that is the way politics is getting played in this country right now. That's part of the way. When Donald Trump says that he's going to end the war when he's nominated as the candidate, or the first 24 hours when he's in the office, he know good and damn well that America is so stupid. Now I'm calling America stupid, that they're going to forget about it. Probably in 2 news cycles. He know that whenever he says that to the American people that tariffs are going to bring income into the country and make Americans rich, he know that he doesn't mean it, because Americans is going to forget about those goddamn tariffs, causing them pain whenever the next topic comes up. That is a fact. And this is what wears me down, because I see this repeated pattern. And because it's spread across the political spectrum in so many areas, whenever you're talking about gas, whenever you're talking about foreign policy, whenever you're talking about the Epstein files, whenever you're talking about Social Security, the military, it's so much. And my thing is, why the fuck ain't people getting this? I get it, but I don't have any power. And it's depressing. It is literally depressing to know what these people are doing. Watch the response from the public, watch the response from the other political side, and watch them continue to do it. That is depressing. That is depressing. And they do it over and over and over and over and over again. Like I was just talking about, the Epstein victims are in the news cycle right now. And what I'm telling you is they have a shelf life. They're in the news and they're making headlines. The ladies said that they were going to create their own list, right? That's interesting. But how many news cycles is this going to last? Right? Now, I will say that the Epstein thing is sticking around a lot longer than a lot of the stuff that happens for some goddamn reason. Look, we just had a school shooting. Children murdered in a church. I don't know if it was a Catholic school or not, but I think it was a church. Where the fuck is the headlines on that? This is why I say America's attention span is short. I knew that when Eric Garner got killed, when Tamir Rice got killed, when Sandra Bland, George Floyd, well, George Floyd sticked around a little while, but all of these murders in our community that make national headlines, why the fuck ain't we talking about it? We just had a flood in Texas to where hundreds of people were murdered in this administration. These people know that the human memory span is short. Instead of addressing the problem, they move on to another issue to keep you not focused on what's going on. That's what happens over and over and over and over again. We should be talking about the Second Amendment and gun ownership in this country. Again. Instead of, listen, these people went crazy last week on social media because Donald Trump got spots on his hands and his ankles are swollen. And he was missing for a couple of days. They done declared this man dead. They said Donald Trump is dead. They seen black trash bags getting thrown out of the White House. And they were sitting on the edge of their seat. And I said, this is too far. This is too far. When he die, if he dies, that's when I'll get excited about Donald Trump dying. But you can't go down these rabbit holes of wishing that he did and wishing that he would. That does nothing. You rile up a certain segment of people that, I don't know, want him dead, but it does nothing. But these people was just hoping that Donald Trump would kill over and die, you know. And I said, okay, well, that's probably why the messaging is off on the other side, because y'all focus on the wrong shit. There should be messaging on the other side talking to the constituency of the left. There should be messaging about how they're going to improve African Americans' lives specifically. There should be messaging. And let me tell you what the right is so smart at doing. Since I mentioned improving the American life, right? So I don't know if you remember a little while back, you used to have political talking points to the black community. Besides talking about prison, they would talk about how they was going, even though it was a fucking lie, how they was going to make the income equality in this country a little bit fairer for black people. That used to be a political talking point. I want you to notice not one politician on the left has even mentioned anything about making anything fair for black people. Do you know why? Because the right is so smart that they've made woke the enemy, that they've made DEI the enemy. They made it political fucking hot potato to even support anything black in this goddamn country. So you can't tell politically black people how you're going to lift them up. You can't do that. You don't even hear anyone talking in that way anymore. And that's because the right has made supporting black anything negative. Whenever they started out with Black Lives Matter, and being woke, anti-woke, and DEI, and all of this kind of shit. All that meant was black, 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 nigga, 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 nigga. You better not support DEI. You better not support the niggas. You better not support Black Lives Matter. You better not support the niggas. Black Lives Matter is bad. The niggas is bad. DEI people cause crime. The niggas cause crime. This is what that is. So if you say that you're going to uplift and create equality in this country for black people, their immediate retort is that you're woke. You're supporting the niggas. So you can't have that conversation in this country no more. It's a tactic. And like I said, the human memory is so short that they don't even remember that having diversity, equity, and inclusion in this country benefited every goddamn body. They don't remember that including people in this country in all kinds of conversations, you didn't have this political toxicity to where people are fighting in restaurants. You had it on a certain level, but it wasn't as prominent as you see it now. Their memory is so short that instead of holding police accountable whenever they violate the rights of black people, whenever they murder black people, instead of holding them accountable so you can get rid of the bad police and get good ones in there, they open Get Send Goes and GoFundMe's for those police officers. This is the time that we living in now. And the political left, I don't know, and I hate to hear people demonizing the Democrats or the political left because it's not beneficial to do that, I don't believe. But you got to be honest when you're having this conversation. Instead of the political left waiting for an Epstein bombshell to drop, or they waiting for a Trump health crisis to drop, or they waiting for an expose on Donald Trump and Putin's relationship, I think that they need to do their job and somehow or another be louder than the right with their messaging. I don't have the money to do it. I don't have the platform to do it. But there is a way that you can talk about maintaining Social Security for elderly people. There is a way that you can talk to the American people about health care. There's a way you can speak to our veterans on all sides. There is a way you can include all of that stuff in addition to whatever corruption Donald Trump going on in your messaging. But you're not doing that. You're waiting for this one bomb to drop so everybody can pile on and all of this kind of shit. And it's not working. It is not working. It would be nice, to be honest with you. You know, just look at the way they treated Joe Biden on his way out with his health, right? Look at how everybody got in line immediately and demonized his fucking age. And then they said he was too old to be the president. And he's moving too slow. And somehow or another he has, you know, that Alzheimer's or whatever the elderly people get. They were saying all of these things, and then MSNBC picked it up, ABC, CBS. You know, Jake Tapper from CNN wrote a book about it. About Donald Trump's age in the White House and how America was at risk to have this elderly senior in the White House running the country. Now, if you look at Donald Trump, he's not a spring chicken. They showed live pictures of this man's elephant ankles, and it looks like somebody put a fucking balloon in his fucking socks, and they're hanging over the edge of his shoes. That's the way his legs look. If you listen to what Donald Trump says, he, for 10 years, have not made one fucking coherent sentence yet at the level of a president. He has not. This motherfucker talk about windmills and being electrocuted by sharks. He talks about being eaten by dogs. He claims that Vladimir Putin and him are best friends and Kim Jong-un. What the fuck? And I'm being polite when I'm saying that this is the ramblings of an elderly man, and at the same time, he don't know what the fuck he's talking about. But yet, and still, you had all the media against Joe Biden for his age. And Donald Trump has these disgusting marks on his hands. And his legs as big as fucking elephant legs. And not one fucking report, well, let me stop saying, but not one, but they are not stressing the health of the president as he's ripping down our economy, as he's implementing these fucking stupid ass tariffs, telling American people that they're benefiting off of tariffs, and people believing that they're not paying higher prices for goods and services in this country. And that's that short-term memory shit, because Sarge believes it. He called in here and told me that the tariff would make him money. This is what this motherfucker told me. That's that short-term memory bullshit. Sarge is a perfect example of what the hell I'm talking about. Because I guarantee you, before the era of Trump, Sarge knew exactly what a fucking tariff was. I promise you that. I'm not a betting man, but I bet you a nickel that Sarge could go through and explain to us how tariffs works and how in some situations they would probably benefit the country, but majority, you as the consumer ended up paying a tax or a higher price for goods and services. I mean, he probably could have explained that to us, right? But if you ask him today, because he's one of these motherfuckers that has these short-term fucking memory and forget shit because it's been repeated to him over and over and over and over again, that somehow tariffs is bringing money into the country and American people are doing better, even though he has to pay higher fucking higher price for his diapers when he go to the store. I'm just messing with you. Even though he has to pay a higher price at the store, he's been convinced that tariffs are working. And this is the dumb shit that I can't. I can't, because motherfuckers have didn't lost their goddamn mind in this damn country. So the Republicans, look, I give it to them, hands down. That their first administration, they came in there all clumsily, and they fucked up the country a little bit. At the time, it was a lot, but they fucked up the country a little bit. They tried to steal an election. They had an insurrection. We literally heard Trump on the phone telling motherfuckers to steal votes in Georgia. There's no debating that. He literally told people to steal votes or find him votes in Georgia. So he had that in his first administration. And then when Joe Biden got in office, it's normal for the prior president or whoever was in charge before is to get to the side and shut the fuck up and let the current administration run the country. But that is not what Donald Trump did. The entire time Joe Biden was in office, Donald Trump meddled in our politics. From Mar-a-Lago, he was demanding that Congress do whatever the fuck he wanted to do. The entire Biden administration, the entire presidency. Donald Trump was out of office, but he was still influencing our politics. And then when he got back in this time, with no guardrails, with the Supreme Court on his side, with him threatening media outlets, with billion-dollar companies being bending the knee and giving them billions of dollars of money, Microsoft and Amazon and Mark Zuckerberg and the CEOs of these media outlets. Oh, it's on now. And they were smart this time because we talked about Project 2025. They had an agenda. They had a program. And they're implementing it now. So, because the constituents, with their short-term memory, has been programmed to accept anything their dear leader does, right or wrong, they're not going to call it out. They are not going to call it out. And we got a perfect example in Sarge, who claims that he's a constitutionalist, right? That is what he claims he is. He came on here years ago telling us, and I took offense to it, that we can't read this 8th grade writing in the Constitution to understand it. And that's why I read the motherfucker, because it ain't that hard to understand. But when he come on here telling us about the Constitution and him not understanding it, especially when it came to the Second Amendment and the wording of the Second Amendment. And the first arguments I had about the Constitution was the 13th Amendment. When I said that slavery didn't end or was not abolished in this country, according to that damn document, and that raised all kinds of goddamn eyebrows, and they abolished slavery. No, the fuck they didn't. No, they didn't. Just read the goddamn word. Whenever you have a sentence and it has the word except in the middle, that means everything before the word except is going to be of an entire different meaning than what was stated. So whenever they tell you slavery hasn't been abolished, except, that means that slavery has not been abolished in this country. And it's right there in that document. And you can look at it in our prison systems. And you can look at who is the occupants of the prison system. So it has not been abolished, but people in this country has been brainwashed because of the short-term memory to believe that slavery don't exist no more. As a matter of fact, Donald Trump participated in slavery with his friends Jeffrey Epstein down there on Epstein Island with those children. But they tell us slavery don't exist no more. Whenever you sex traffic someone and do things against their will, that's a form of slavery. You can call it sex trafficking, and you can call it imprisonment. You can call them ex-cons, or you can call them convicts. You can call them whatever the fuck you want to, but that system, the core system that all of these things are built around, is fucking slavery. That is just the truth. That is the truth. So you got these white men that has a heritage of profiting off of this system of servitude and slavery, and it's nothing new for them because they have money and influence. They continue to do what their ancestors do, but because they got money and influence, they can pay their way out of it and hide it and convince the people that that's not really what they're doing. I mean, that's just they continuing the same shit over and over again. But the Republicans, now that they're in office, and the Democrats is not really batting that good or doing that good with their messaging. These people are they've taken this country and they're headed down a path that I don't even understand. I don't understand it. And I don't know where it's going to land. Because, you know, with me as an African American, one of the worst things that I can think of is that they trying to take things back to the way it was. But I have common sense too. I know that's not going to happen. There's too many black people in this country that is not our ancestors. And that's not going to happen in that way. So I have to elevate my thinking a little bit and say, how can it happen? Well, we see it as they take away resources, as they put these military forces in black cities and towns, as they fire black military commanders and generals, right? They're not enslaving us, but they're causing our lives to be that much worse than what it was. As you're not allowed the same access to resources, as loans for you is much more expensive than it is for the white people. As whenever you go and try to buy a home and you get denied that ability because of your skin color. And we talk about medication prices rising, but did y'all know that you could go to the same pharmacy as a white person and that white person pay less money than whenever they see your black face come in there? The same thing for the doctor's office. Whenever you paying your co-pays, that white person, because they're white, they may have a cheaper copay, and this is why, you know, and I don't have anything wrong with HIPAA, right? Because I think HIPAA is a good thing, but HIPAA keeps you from knowing these things. You know, as I sit in doctor's offices and I listen, or I'm nosy, I said, that motherfucker paid what? You know, and I said, that ain't right. You know, that ain't right. How the fuck did you pay that? And then I got to pay this. Right? So, but HIPAA keeps all that shit from you. But if you nosy like I am, you pay attention and you listening and you watch how you get overcharged for shit. When you're buying a car or when you go and apply for a credit card, they're going to charge you more. So they're not going to institute slavery. But they will shut down the black institutions for education. They will defund that. They will take away affirmative action. They will take away your access to the ballot box. So no, you're not going back in chains, but your children is going to have it 10 times more difficult than you had it. And I remember telling people on BTR when I was growing up, the advice that my mother told me is that I'm going to have to work 10 times harder than the white person. And that's been true all my life, right? And I still I still can't catch up with these motherfuckers, right? And I try to tell that to my children. But even with those words of advice from my mama, my children and grandchildren is going to have to make it 20 and 30 times harder. They're going to have to work 20 and 30 times harder to even try to be up with these people. And that's how they're going to implement this new form of quasi-slavery, if you will, by attacking these institutions that support us, by making it more difficult, policing our communities even more, having state-sponsored brown shirt terrorists like ICE and the police force just charge us with more crimes. I live in Myrtle Beach, and I know people down here get high, do drugs, get drunk, drive drunk, but you won't see the police officers in those neighborhoods. But they set up police departments and these little substations in the black neighborhoods. And I see the police posted up where black people hang out. I don't see police officers in the neighborhoods that's got fucking boats in their backyards and all this kind of, and they standing out there getting drunk. They driving, getting drunk, right? I don't see police officers posted up in Polly's Island or Murrow's Inlet where these people just live in these fucking mansions. I don't see them posted up out there. So that's how they're going to implement this whole new form of quasi-slavery in 2025 and on. And our children is going to be suffering because of the conditions that these people, or the foundation that these people are laying down right now. I mean, we was progressing in this country as black people. It wasn't as fast as we wanted it to be, but we were moving forward at a snail's pace. But that was too fast. A snail pace was too fast for white supremacy. So they trying to snatch the rug from up under black people in this country. It's in the long run, it's not gonna fucking work. It's just gonna be more difficult to achieve. And that's the shit that sucks. You know, this whole pull yourself up by the bootstraps. They thought that was an argument that they could use, and it never made sense to me. It never made sense to me, but a lot of black people would catch on to that talking point and they would repeat it to other black people. You bringing this on yourself. All you have to do is comply. All you have to do is pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You know, they would repeat that to their own community. And then you would get into the talking points to where it's the fatherless black homes that is causing all of this dysfunction in our community. And it's all of these mothers out here with babies twerking and all of this dumb shit that didn't matter. Right? But because white supremacists told you that that was your problem, it sounded good to you, so you start repeating it to black people. You know, we allude to the damn red pill era. You know, that whole era is what black people picked up on and started repeating to each other. I never seen us in that. I listen. I do. And I do see the people in our community that act a certain way, and I don't live that way. You know, I see them act in a certain way, but that's not me. And the reason that's important because both of us is black. But what people will do, well, they will highlight that person instead of me. So I know if I'm in this scenario and it's me versus that person and they're acting a certain way, now, which I'm saying I don't disagree with how they act. I'm not disagreeing with it, but I'm pointing out what people are pointing out is distasteful in our community, right? So if they act that way and I don't act this way, why are you talking about them instead of talking about me? Right? So that catches on. And then there's a lot more people that act like me, I think, in our community than act the other way. But because of social media and people falling for propaganda, they highlight the negativity and the stereotypes in our community, and they, you know, say it's everybody. So I think that's bullshit, because if you want to use those metrics, right, then everybody in the white community is a tax cheating, pedophile, a person with 34 goddamn felonies, someone who visits teenagers on the goddamn Epstein Island, someone who slept with a porn star, someone who verbally said that they will abuse women by grabbing them by their vagina. So this is all the white people. If we're gonna categorize every white person, every black person by one black person's actions or a few black people's actions, why can't we say the entire white population in this country is racist, ignorant, unintelligent, has this crazy desire to be orange, right? Steals from people's lives every fucking... Why can't we just generally say that every white people act like that? And that's because we got good goddamn sense, right? And we know that that's not the case. But I can generalize on some of y'all habits, on some of their habits, is which they're fucking savages. They don't give a fuck about humanity. They're the lowest fucking goddamn denominator. They're fucking scum of the earth. They're just fucking violent and just rude people. This is just their heritage, right? This is their DNA. You know, I started rambling. Every time I get on here, I start rambling about shit, and I just go from one place to another. Listen, I don't know what the hell I just was talking about, but if y'all want to call in, you can. You can hit the one button, and I'll open your line, and you can speak. There was some other news about this guy named Rampage Jackson that I seen on the internet. I don't know if y'all know him. I think this was last week. And I don't even know Rampage Jackson, but that's him on the screen there. It says that he's an MMA fighter, right? And then his son, here's the headline right here. His son went to this wrestling event with his friend, and they was backstage, and this wrestler hit Rampage Jackson's son, Raja, over the head with a fake can. And his name was Psycho Stu. And Psycho Stu hit him backstage with a fake can, And Rampage Jackson, I guess Psycho Stu thought Rampage Jackson was one of the wrestlers back there because he's a pretty big guy. But Rampage, Raja Jackson did not like that. And he was really angry that he got hit over the head with a fake can. And at the same time, Raja Jackson he's a young guy. He was live on the internet, streaming at the time all of this shit was happening. And his chat seen it. You know how they get crazy about their goddamn chats. Hey, chat, what y'all think about this, chat? What's up, chat? Am I right, chat? You know, his chat seen him. And then everybody was talking shit in his chat. And he was getting angrier and angrier. And then they told this guy the way they can settle it is this guy, Psycho Stu, had a match. And in the match, they would arrange it so that Raja Jackson can come into the ring and, you know, get a couple of licks on Psycho Stu, and then they'll call it even. And then Raja Jackson said, okay, we can do that. But he had another agenda because he was still talking to his chat. And at the same time, he was on the phone with his daddy. And his daddy was talking shit to him. Talking about, I seen you hanging around with some guys with some panties on or some tights. He was talking about the pro wrestler. And he was getting all hyped up about that shit. His chat was hyping him up about how you gonna let this dude hit you upside the head with a can. And then the whole video is out there. And then he was getting angry. He said, this ain't gonna be no play when I get in this ring. I'm gonna show him that he can't do me like that, or whatever the fuck he was talking about with his chat. And then when this boy got in the ring, when they told him he can get in the ring, I'm just flipping through the pictures here, but you can see him in this photo on top of Psycho Stu beating the shit out of him. And here's another one where he was beating him so much that other wrestlers had to get in and pull him off of him. And then this is Psycho Stu in the hospital after that ass whooping. And then I was kind of torn about this story. Okay, so the boy shouldn't have beat the man up like that. He just shouldn't have. But at the same time, Psycho Stu shouldn't have walked up to that boy and hit him in the head with that damn beer can. So the anger was understandable on Raja Jackson's side. Let me see if I can find the visuals for you guys. I'm pretty sure they had it on YouTube. They might still have it there. Oh yeah, here it is. So I can understand the anger on Raja Jackson's point of view. But if you look at what he did, he not snuck in, but he came into the ring, he picked my man up, body slammed him, and then he did all of that. Well, that man is completely out of it. His hands went down, and he's just still going welling away at him. And that was just brutal. You know, you won. You won when you slammed him. You know. And I think that's the guy who we went to the event with. Okay, so here they're gonna show you the time before. This is when he hit him with the can before all of that happened. So right there is when he hit him in the head with the can. And this is before. So he did that. So he got mad about that. And that's understandable. He shouldn't have hit him in the head with the goddamn can. But the can was a prop. Raja Jackson didn't know it was a prop. All he seen was this man hitting him in the goddamn head. And this is when he's on the phone with his daddy talking shit to him, saying that he's seen him in a room with a bunch of guys with panties on. And then his chat kind of hyped him up to get in that ring and beat the shit out of that guy. So I'm kind of torn about that whole thing because the man shouldn't have hit him in the head with the can to begin with. But at the same time, Rajah Jackson shouldn't have got in there and just beat the crap out of that dude like that. He almost killed that dude because he's a strong guy. I think he was a football player or an athlete some type of way or something. He's a strong guy. I don't know if he's in MMA like his daddy, but he's a strong guy. But I thought that was a story that was interesting to me. So I guess I must have been talking too much. Elisa calling in here to tell me to shut the hell up. What's up, Miss Elisa?
Hi, Tyrell. How you doing?
What's happening? And guys, if y'all want to call in, y'all can call in. You can talk about whatever I said or whatever you want to. But what's up, Miss Elisa?
Nothing much. I was looking at that video. That was brutal. That beating. But what kind of fighters did you say they were? Tyrone?
Oh, the big white guy is a wrestler like WWF, like Vince McMahon, fake wrestling stuff. But Rajah Jackson daddy is an MMA fighter. Now I think Rajah Jackson is in the athletes himself. I think he's like a football player or something. So I can find that up.
So the daddy, would he jump in the ring and beat him up like that?
With the
or he
daddy
was fighting him? Who beat who up? The son or the one who got hit with the can, or the one who got hit with the can son?
Well, the one who got hit with the can beat up the wrestler. And the dad won't even involved in this. The dad was just on the phone talking shit to his son. So the dad won't involve, but it was just the son and the wrestler.
Oh, so the father was fussing at him about him losing control and doing that.
Well, afterwards, but at first his dad was, because him and his dad got this joking kind of relationship. His dad seen him on live, and his dad seen that he was at a wrestling event. So his dad was picking on him about being with wrestlers because they fake wrestlers and they got on tights and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, he was just joking with him on live. And I guess that kind of messed with him some type of way.
Oh, so then during the match, he won the match and then beat the man unconscious.
Well, the man, Psycho Stu, the white man, had a match. And because he mistakenly hit him with a beer can before the event, they settled upon an agreement and said, okay, so whenever I got my match, I'm going to allow you to come into the ring and, you know, just put on a performance and you can say that we're even. And they agreed to that. They agreed to that. And then whenever he got into the ring to do that performance, Rajah Jackson just took it to a whole nother level. And he
beat him.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Well, you know what? There's so much going on now in society. So much hate, so much fighting. Racism is off the chain. All of the phobias is off the chain. And everybody's just at one another. So when people lose it and do things like that, you know, it is what it is. That looks awful, and I hope he doesn't have to face severe consequences. But with so much of people at one another, the racism, it's just not just black and white. You got your white, because I saw a video the other day where this white man pulled up, and these little people, I don't know if they were Spanish or Arab or what, they had their little table out, you know, selling their little fruits and vegetables or whatever it was. And white dude just pulled up in a pickup and started tearing up all their stuff. And black people was in the comments saying they was just going, stop. And I guess not wanting to cause trouble, the Arab people or Spanish, whatever, the Hispanic, whatever they were. And black people was like, y'all got to stop letting white people get away with that kind of stuff, doing that kind of stuff, just one little man by himself, that the man and his wife, whose little table it was, y'all should have both jumped up and picked up some folding chairs and crowned him in the head. And then and beat him in the head. And when the police come, we feared for our life. It was a court on video anyway. But then also, black woman lost her cookout pass because she was at a kindergarten graduation, and she sat next to her and her friend sat next to a white couple, and I guess they didn't want black people sitting next to them, and the man's wife was, because she said the husband was in the middle, and the wife was saying all kind of stuff, and they was like, just let this go, everybody got a seat, the black woman, her friend, everybody got a seat, let's just let this go, graduation, kindergarten, and the white woman kept on, and she hit the woman, because somebody was recording it, and then she turned and spit on her in her face, and then hit her again. And then when the police came, the security, I haven't heard any more about that. So people called the police because the disturbance started, and the black woman was like, "Oh my God, no, you didn't." And people would say, "Where did that man?" And people, they was like, "What kind of a black woman is that?" Because see, Tyrone, I wouldn't be talking to you right now if that happened to me. I might still be locked up for manslaughter. You see what I'm saying? That's about the most they charged me, or manslaughter in the third degree or something like that, because I was provoked and I was attacked. But like Stars was saying, when you overdo it, like the mob mentality, that me and my girlfriend, that would have been mob mentality, and we would have beat that woman to death.
I mean, sometimes it calls for the mob mentality, and I don't blame them.
Sometimes it calls for that
because this country has a known history. So we live in this country, so it is what it is.
Yeah, and history aside, it's bad right now. Everybody is bad. Everybody's excitable. You're not gonna do this, that. So to see black women take that, also more bad-looking white people, they look like trash compared to them. You gonna take the woman, spit in your face, and hit you twice? What the hell? Because you don't want to cause a scene at a kindergarten graduation. Yeah, that kindergarten graduation would have been turned out. And
at the same time, so you saying the lady didn't do nothing after she did that to her?
No, they just got up and called for people, called the security and the police and stuff.
Well, no, see, and then we got to keep in mind, everybody ain't built like that too. So you got a lot of people.
I know. But the point is, I'm not built like that. I don't fight and this or this, that. But things like that happen. There's folding chairs or a bench or something. Somebody getting killed.
Yeah.
I'm not built like that. And you just took that. And you have got to stop allowing people to do things. Like people saying that white people be treating the Spanish people, tearing up their stuff and things like that. Y'all got to stop them from doing that. And here go this dumb black woman. All the black people were saying, girl, you done embarrassed us out here. You let this woman do this to you. I'm not about that life.
Well, they don't need to be too bad on her.
Like, huh?
They don't need to be too bad on her. I don't
know.
They
was like, she lost her cookout pass. You have embarrassed us. You let that white. That's what I was like. You have lost all of your privileges to the cookout. You embarrassed us. You embarrassed black women. Come on, Tyrone. And them two women could have took both them. I'm not about that. I'm not about that either. Fighting. And this last time I had a fight was back in, I think, 5th grade. No. Well, that wasn't a fight when we got beat up at the skating rink when I was 17. But that wasn't no fight. We got jumped. But I don't put that in. They was just jealous. So that's a whole different story. But I don't do that. I don't get involved in that. But I'm not going to take that. Even if I end up getting beat up, I'm going to defend myself. I'm going to defend myself.
With the spitting and all of that, no.
Yeah, she spit in her face, little old trash white woman. I wouldn't have been on the phone right now because they would have been holding me on. Maybe somebody would have got me out on bail on one of the manslaughters. Because you're not going to spit in my face And I'm not about that life, but I'm not gonna take that. I ain't gonna take that from a black woman doing that to me. A black woman did that to me. I'm not gonna be locked up for manslaughter. I'm gonna be locked up because we done tore the place up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try to kill. I'm not gonna. But old trash white woman because she being racist. And it was all over. That was all over. Everybody was talking about that. They was like, she done lost her cookout privileges. You have embarrassed us that that white woman thinks she could just do that, get away with it. Y'all two women, and they were bigger than y'all could have took both them. But anyway, everybody's tensions are high right now, and like the fight that you just showed, I don't know, maybe tensions is high, and people is just losing it. And doing any and some or all kind of things, out here things that they probably
they created this environment.
Wouldn't do.
They created this environment with the anti-Black Lives Matter and the DEI and the woke. They just got everybody mad with black people, and white people think that they can walk around this country and do whatever.
Yeah, but not just to black people though. Let's don't put the full bullseye on us. Not just to black people. They're treating, I've seen the videos of how they're treating the Latinos and cussing them out, tearing up their stuff and doing all kind of stuff. So we're not going to put that bullseye just on us.
Oh, yeah.
And how they've always treated the Arabs and things like that. So everybody, tensions are high. People are fighting in the street. People are fighting all over the place and arguing and cussing one another out. And it was getting bad before the election. It was getting extra worse, extra bad before the election. So, and the tensions was rising and rising and rising and rising. And now we're here. It's at a fever point. And people are liable to do anything. So, and looking at that might be a part of that. This is that video you showed. This is a high. It's so much, the country has gone completely insane. You got you have a sect of people in the United States taking up the child sex trafficking and abuse. And
yeah, did you see the victims press conference?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw it.
What you think gonna come out of that?
I want to see what Massey get these other people to. He said he need 2 more Republicans. Get them, and people have to, because I know like to get 2 more senators to sign so they could get the full release, and people will know it's just the full release, because that's about other people got that stuff. The FBI is not the only one that got copies to all this stuff.
Well, I'm not looking for. I'm not expecting no full release. With this administration, there will not be. You can mark my word. There will not be no full release unless everything is heavily redacted.
But whatever they get, it's that the FBI is not the only one with all of that stuff, right? You know this.
But they're not. But whoever else got it can't release it.
You can't release it. We don't know that. I would bet you Elon Musk. I bet you Elon Musk got everything that the FBI got. I bet you any amount of money Putin got everything the FBI got. I bet you any amount of money that Benjamin Netanyahu got everything, and probably a lot of different other people. So it's not that they can't release it; it's will they.
Well, they're not, because they're scared of what's going to happen if they do release it. Especially with Trump in charge.
If you are a leader of another country, and you are, say, like you're the head of Mossad, or you're the head of this, or you're the head of that from another country, why are they scared of Trump?
Well, they're scared of Trump because Trump threatens trades with them and all this kind of bullshit.
Look how they got him punked out right now.
Well,
the people who I'm talking about, they're not scared of him. Look how they got him punked out right now. And other individuals have it too. People have their backdoor ways of releasing whatever the hell it is that they want to release. So it's not will they, that's not can they, because of fear of Trump. It's will they, and will they hold on to things to use for their own gain. That's what Putin and all them different people are doing. A lot of people got all that information. Wolf has it. That's why they did nothing to him. That's why he out talking freely, because they know that he has information and stuff that he has shared with a multitude of people. So it's will they, and will they, when will they? It's not about Trump
then
fear.
even let's say the whole thing got released. Do you think that it's really going to affect Donald Trump? And the reason that I'm asking like that is because there has been nothing yet, no matter how much corruption.
If everything, if I'm just gonna give you my honest opinion. If everything is released and it's all up in them files, and let's just say Orange plus having sex with young girls and all those photos that Wolf talks about is released and different testimony and different video. Because Epstein was part of Mossad. Let's just get this real. He had cameras all over. Because when some people was pulling up pictures of his New York penthouse. It was a spread they did some years back, back before he got arrested. And the people was pointing out, see the camera. That place was heavily loaded with cameras. So you know his place is like down there in Florida and different other places, that island. So, and that's what Wolf was able to see, and you don't know what that man has, and a lot of different people have. If all of that stuff, if enough of it is released, and they do have photos and videos and different things, let's say Orange engaging in that, do I think it will take down his regime? Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I don't see it, Elisa. I just don't see it.
I don't see why
Donald
you
Trump
don't see it.
has been able to get away with some of the craziest stuff that I would never thought that anybody could get away with. And he's been able to get away with it.
He's been able to get away with it because a lot of it is people hate for different people. He was able to use that old give people a finger to point at and against the immigrants and this and that same old Southern strategy playbook. All of that stuff that Lyndon Johnson and all them talked about, he was able to get them on that. But common sense is tell you that the Republican Party, but they're not Republican anymore, but his party, they would like to see him gone. He just got them all intimidated up and scared to do anything. And if something like this was to come out, this would be their chance, and they would grab it. I don't see why you don't see it.
Well, I'm saying it'll be terrible. It'll be terrible, and it'll be true, and his name will be plastered all over it. But I'm saying somehow or another, Donald Trump is going to slither his way right through it, just like he's always doing.
You think?
Because
honestly,
I mean, he's got Fox News on his side, and he's got these right-wing people that are going to try to twist it and all this kind of bullshit.
Well,
I don't know.
You know what, Tyrone? If that, like how you feel about it and like how you think about it, and you think that the president of the United States, let's just say it got plastered all over him with somebody 13 as well.
That'd be terrible.
That
I mean,
no, wait a minute. No, it's not going to be terrible. That's depraved.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not terrible. It's depraved.
Well, yeah, it'd be depraved.
If you think he can slither, if you think Orange would be able to say it got that depraved, and all of that information came out. If you feel it's just your opinion that he could like slither out how he's doing with ICE and how he slither out how he's doing with this and that and this and that. If you feel that he could slither out of that and the whole world sees it, let me finish.
Go ahead.
Then the country's gone, is done. Let's give up.
Well, it is. And see, my litmus test.
No, it's not. No,
my litmus test is like ABC and Sarge, and you can put the worst scenario in front of those two people.
That's just them.
That's just. I know that's just them, but it's a mindset of how that side think, you know. And if you can put the worst scenario in front of those two people, and no matter what, they always come out supporting that damn.
You're gonna have that. You're going to have that. You're going to have some people that's going to do that. It's not going to matter. Because I heard a black man who was, he was debating this guy, one of those young white guys. You probably have seen him. And they were debating. He said, was this for black maggots to call? And that black man said, when the young guy asked him, so what if the administration was to put black people, the community that you're from, back into chattel slavery? He said, all the wheels and all the bells and whistles and all of this is that. Would that change your mind about voting for this man if he did that to everybody but you and your family? He said he had 2 daughters because he didn't much care about the child trafficking and the sexual abuse part. He said it wasn't my daughters. So he said, well, let me think of something else. So he asked about the chattel slavery, and that man said, if it's not me and my daughters and my family, then black people will have a job and they will be this, that. And you know what the white guy told him? He didn't intend to. I've never really heard him curse like this, but he basically cursed the man out, and he called him you stupid, dumb, I'm going to just say it, you stupid, dumb fuck, and he hung the phone up on him. And I said, this is a young white man talking to a black man like that. And I had to cheer him on. So you're going to have mentally ill people. I mean, you're going to have mental illness back. You're going to have, not mental illness, because I'm not a doctor, so I can't call him mentally ill. But you're going to have self-hating, since we just talking about black folks, so self-hating black folks and love of Caucasian. You're going to have that. You're going to have a lot of Caucasian. You're going to have that. You're going to have some of them that's going to be around. But because Trump did not win the election, it was not a mandate. It was the lowest win. I think I forget what year we can go back. And the president, so it was not that, even though he says it is. And his polling, even in the right-wing polls, he's underwater. Everybody's paying more money and different things that's going on. There's no way. So it's not half the country. Half the country didn't vote for him because a lot of people didn't vote. So half the country, it's not half the country. I would say it's about a quarter of the country that's still hanging on because a lot of his people are falling off. It's about a quarter that's hanging on. And if something like this, child sex, it's just the most depraved gets splattered and it's proven to be true, his administration is over. It will take this. It will be something this depraved. That's the problem. It'll take something so depraved to get him gone. It's not going to take that. He's dismantling everybody's rights. He's dismantling all of the social safety nets. In all of the red states, a lot of the hospitals and clinics and things are going to be closing. They're pulling out funding for I just heard the other day, for childhood brain cancer research, and all of the things, the way that things are going with the immigrants. We have the camps being built all across the country, sitting in the military. No. That's turned to people. That's why his polling numbers is underwater. And now that the tariffs is really starting to kick in, and they're going to really start to kick in, that's why his polling numbers is underwater. There's no way. It's something like we're talking about the most depraved. Some of the most depraved. You can't get no more depraved than child sexual abuse. But it's things you can do. But
I'm just saying that's in
the top 3. His administration is over because Tyrone, half the country don't support him now. Only a quarter that's hanging on.
I watched some farmers lose their whole motherfucking farm. And they're willing to go on. They're willing to go on welfare, and they still say that they support Donald Trump. I'm like, what the hell is wrong?
I've seen one or two, but I've seen the bulk, and like those farmers and stuff when they have them sit down, to talk with them, and a lot of them was like, "Would you vote?" Hell no. I've seen one or two say that because that's the people that hate more than they care about themselves. But if you talk about, if you get down to like something so depraved, he will have the sycophants that will stick beside him. You're going to have that. Can't do anything about that. You're going to have the sycophants. But there's no way his administration can last that. It just won't, Tyrone. No way. Especially since the majority of the country hate him now. something like that, and then that will give his people a chance to get him gone. That to me, that's easy breezy. Something that is that
Well,
depraved.
I really hope what you saying come true, but judging from what we going through right now, I
I
don't
didn't say
know.
it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
We just talking hypothetically, that if that's put out, could he last? Could he survive that? And I'm saying no. I would like to, if other people call in, ask them what's their opinion on that. We talk about one of the most depraved in the top 3 of the most depraved acts, sexual abuse of children. And it's out there and it's splattered, it's videos, it's pictures, it's everything, all the proof. Can his administration survive that? He can slither out of a lot of things because a lot of people see a lot of gray area in things. But something like that, there's not going to be that much gray area, and there's no gray area for probably about 80% of the country.
But I'm saying like, okay, so, but I'm saying they already know. To me, you got to be a slow person not to know that Donald Trump messed with these kids. They already know that he messed with these kids.
They know, and some people still trying to, because I had some stupid, and I'm specifically talking about black folks, a couple of stupid black MAGAs. We was talking about this yesterday because someone I know, he claimed he not MAGA, but he support Trump and stuff. And some of his MAGA friends, we was talking about it. There's no proof that Orange did any of these things. There's no proof. There's no this, that. And just like Mama's boy has said, I said, I see you. I see you. You sitting up there taking up for depravity. What are you doing? And you're going to have to look back on this one day. That you all know all of the information is out there, the timelines, all the old article, everything out there, if you really want the truth. But you're trying your best to talk it down. I see you. And you can't do nothing about those people.
Yeah.
But the overwhelming majority will be like, okay, no. And that'll give his MAGA party an excuse to get him gone. That will be the excuse. And they won't have to, a lot of them won't have to fear retaliation. They won't have to fear retaliation.
I think that they've demonized Democrats so much over the years that these people, MAGA, the Republicans, they don't want to see no more Democrats in charge.
But see, when it get down to that, Tyrone, it's not about Democrats and Republicans. It's about it's not about your political affiliation.
Right, but that's the way America, if you look at it, that's the way America views everything right now. They don't have this bipartisan mentality no more. It's either Democrats or Republicans, left or right, conservative or liberal. That's the way people see each other right now.
But when it comes to complete depravity, a lot of people ain't gonna give, because like I don't care who all was involved.
But no, you and I wouldn't care who's involved.
And in their head, they're saying that it's Democrats. Fine. I don't believe who you want to believe it was doing the thing. Matter to me. But if proof came out, undeniable proof, videos, everything came out, then it turns into who do you want to be? Who are you? And then at that point, it's not about political affiliation anymore.
Yeah, for you and I but for those people, they live and breathe this stuff.
For a lot of people, because the evangelicals does this, that, if they want to make it behind their pearly gates to their God, they're going to have to answer to that. So you got to think about that too. It's different things going on here. And the country that will help, if they did not do anything and did not vote this man out, the country's already going down. The United States will spiral into the abyss at that point. And a lot of rich, wealthy, they ain't trying for that to happen. So you got to take that. It's not just about race when it comes to certain things. A lot of things is going on with up under that umbrella of his administration, and it's not all about race. A lot of it is about control. A lot of it is about the wealthy. Certain things is about the tech, this, that. They don't want the country to spiral into the abyss. So they'd be like, okay, we give rid of him and we'll get us somebody a little bit more safe, like
I think that they would watch
Reagan-esque.
I think they would watch this country burn down. I think that the Republicans.
I don't think so.
They'll watch this country burn.
But they're watching it burn now.
They're watching it burn now.
It's not. They're thinking that it's going to be a turnaround for them to do what they want to do. But it's once you see it really spiraling out into the abyss, I don't think so. Because if I felt about it like how you did, I'm just going to give up. I'm just going to give up. To hell with the little children in my family, to hell with the people that I care about. I don't look at it that way. I'm not saying I have hope in humanity. No, I don't have hope. That's not it. That's not it. I have hope in some of humanity, not all of it, some. But I have hope in a dollar and rich people, not rich, mega wealthy people and a dollar. And I know that certain things they will say, okay, we to a certain point. Because right now, a lot of these big businesses and stuff, they all screwed up with Trump and these tariffs.
Well, you can't depend on the rich people because you got to look at.
No, I didn't say depend on. That's not what I said. I said if the country looks like it's going to spiral out of control to the abyss, you can count on the mega rich to say, okay, we're going to lose a lot of our money. We're going to lose a lot of our holdings. We're going to lose a lot of our this. We're going to lose it. If everything just spirals out into the abyss for this orange man, no.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I know, and they will start working on somebody who's a Ronald Reagan-esque.
No, what I'm trying to tell you.
They're not going to lose their last dime over this orange man. They just not going to do that. Common sense tells me that.
What I'm saying is that Trump inauguration, he had billionaires at his inauguration. And when he got into office, Trump caused the stock market to go crazy. And these people lost a lot of money. They lost a lot of money, and these millionaires, they still sticking by him. They just are.
Do you recall when he was getting really, really crazy? Do you recall hearing the reports? Well, all these CEOs and stuff, they called a meeting to the White House when things was getting out of control. And all of them went, they had to sit down. And some of the things that he was talking about he was going to do, they made him back off that. Them people's not going to lose theirs. Not for this orange fool. Because all they have to do is build a Ronald Reagan. That's all they got to do. They're not going. If the United States spirals the hell out of control, where they going to Europe? No, what are they just going to try to get into the European market? They would have to try to they would have to they're going to do what they do in the European market. No, they have to go to Asia for that. And
well, that's what's happening.
And all the Chinese gonna let them in like that. They let them in because they want their money.
That's what's happening now. There's a lot of products.
It's been happening. They've been moved to most of their factories and things over there. And the Asian market allowed them because it helped them get a foothold up to where they are. But to get into the Asian market and be able to run it like they run the market here. Can you see Ping and the people over there allowing that? Ew. Europe, they dynasties and all they stuff over there being failed long ago. They still living along, hoping, relying on the United States, the G7.
No, what I'm trying to tell you is that there ain't nobody. People are pulling out of the United States of America. They're not really.
And I said,
go ahead.
They been doing that. They've been doing that, but they still run this. They've been pulling out for the longest time, but they still run this.
What you mean they run it? What you mean they run it?
They run it. That's all the money goes to the top. Trickle down economics. They give them the tax breaks to the this and that. They run it. They run politics. That's what I mean. They run this. They run all of this. The people at the top, the billionaires, the American oligarchs, they run all this.
Oh yeah.
But do they run the Asian markets and stuff like they run it here? No.
No, they don't run it overseas.
Not yet. And I don't see them being able to run that. They run it here. America has been a money-making scheme. They get all of their money from, a lot of them, they get their money, get them billions of dollars from the United States government, corporate welfare, and things like that. Are they going to be able to go to, say, like China and get all of that? No. They been running over there to make more money, but they run this here. And if this is gone, what they gonna run? Europe? No. What are they gonna run?
Well, I mean, they're gonna make American consumer weaker and weaker, and they're gonna keep snatching more and more from us.
But if there's no American consumer, then what? Then what?
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you, is that they're gonna keep snatching as much as they can from us. And the way that Donald Trump and Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and those people in the top 1% is hoarding money. They don't need us after they get money. They just don't need us. They don't.
Do you realize that? They still need us. They still need us, though. They still need us.
No, they don't. I gave you an example with the dude that did the TikTok with the rice of how much money Elon Musk had compared to the average person. Well, the average person making $100,000 a year. And that man will not need anybody. He don't need to make no more money ever. He just don't.
That's true. That's true. But if he want to stay the richest and stay the big boss, he's got to continue to bring in money to maintain that number one status.
Well, I'm saying if things got bad for him, he would never be broke. If things got bad with him, he would never be struggling.
It's not about being broke for them, because they will never be broke.
Yeah.
It's about power and control. And if the American people, just like some of these, you take like, just to keep it on the black and Africa, you have some of these countries where the overwhelming population of the people is dragging and starving on in the country. People there who's running things and got control of things, they're rich. But they could be richer if the people wasn't dragging and starving, starving and dragging and dying of thirst and stuff. They could be even richer. They could be even more powerful if the overwhelming majority of the people in their country wasn't on the ground. Everybody
I don't know. Throughout history, they've used this formula to where the extremely wealthy gets more wealth and they keep people poor. Now, for some reason, I don't like it, but that's just the way we've lived throughout human history. Is you had the very poor and the very rich, and they keeping that in place, and
yes, they keep it in place everywhere. Because some people you got to get in order to have the mega wealthy. You gotta have the poor and the middle class.
I think America set an example. I think it was after the New Deal when the middle class became a power on its own, and they destroyed the middle class. They ain't no middle class no more. People can say they are, but the middle class
but
is
it's
gone.
Not. It's them. It's the ones at the top, and then it's us. That's what it's always been. And basically, that's kind of what it is in most countries. Them at the top, and because China has got that same setup, them at the top, and then everybody else. But if everybody is starving and starved out, you still got to make your money. You still got to bring. If they still want to bring in money, they will always be mega wealthy and rich and never need and always have and never spend, and they offspring. Yes, that's a true statement. But in order, you still got to add to it. And if America spirals out into the abyss, Okay, let's see all of them run over and see if the Asian people gonna let them control their thing. No,
I'm saying that they
no,
don't care about people. They don't care about like you saying that they need to
no.
make
Why
money.
should they?
You said they need to make money, but if you look at what RFK is doing, and I know this is a little extreme, RFK is literally implementing plans with the healthcare system to kill people. He's not saying it.
No, that is.
He's not saying
He
that
is.
in that way, but what he's doing, thousands of people are going to die. That is
That's
just a
true.
fact. And so
That's
they
true.
don't care
But the
about they don't
difference,
care about people.
that's true. But the difference between RFK, because he's not a mega rich, he got money, and he's also involved in different corporations and stuff, selling supplements and stuff. So if he could kick back, you think Big
No,
Pharma will take that off of him?
RFK is living off of legacy from the Kennedys,
Yeah,
right?
but
So
also
he ain't got
but
nothing
he
to
has
worry about.
investments, but he has investments in supplements. These
Yeah, his
companies and
personal
stuff.
that's
His
his personal
investments,
stuff. But even if he didn't
yeah,
have that
to
stuff,
make money.
if he
But
didn't have that stuff, his legacy is going to take him and his family generations to go through.
Yeah, but the difference between him and the mega rich, RFK is not he's not mega rich. He rich. I don't know how much money he got, but he's not mega rich. The Kennedys are rich, but RFK himself, because he was in debt. A lot of people don't know that. You can research him. He was in debt. He was in debt here a few years ago. I mean, some serious debt. But he's built up his money. He has money invested in different things like that with some of these supplement companies and things like that. But the difference between he's been a conspiracy theorist, the difference between him and some of these other people. Now, I don't have to be a therapist. I don't have to be a psychologist or psychiatrist. The difference between him and them, that man is completely insane.
Yeah, the Google
He's
say that he's
insane.
worth $43 million. That's what the Google
Yeah, because
say.
he has brought in some. He has gotten money. He's gotten extra money since he has been involved in this. Because he's involved, and his thing is this fool is trying to take on Big Pharma. That ain't gonna last too much longer. It's not gonna last too much longer, and it has nothing to do with Trump. Nothing to do with Trump. But he's just insane. But he's also making some money on the side. Dr. Oz too. The only one who was not making any money and tried to jump on that side
Well,
was the one that had to talk, Dr. Phil. And he done filed for bankruptcy. So he
Well,
hasn't
see,
really
it's
found his niche in how to make money.
it's the mindset of people like ABC. He just wrote in the chat room, broke niggas on the internet talking about how rich the rich are. Now that's a good talking point for your little circle or whatever, but you've got to be concerned about the rich, especially now, because they are taking money that could go to your family. The
Out your
distribution
pocket.
the distribution of wealth in this country now is going to the extremely rich. So we got to have this conversation because you're talking about not having access to health care, not having access to low price foods in the grocery store. You're talking about not having access to just the basic necessities. The light bill is going to go up. The water, everything is going to go higher. Your
Everything's going to
clothes,
go up.
and that's the
All
rich.
of,
That's the rich who's gathering this money. So when
and
while
all
you're
of the
ignorant,
safety.
while you're ignorant and allowing the rich to stay rich, they taking from your dumb ass. And that's the
Yeah.
kind of talking points that get people talking silly shit.
And they in the process, people can't afford to buy homes and things like that. And you talking about broke people? I
Yeah.
don't care.
Look at how
If
prices
somebody
are.
is rich,
I
let
bought my
people be
house for
rich.
I bought my house for
Huh?
$96,000 when I got down here. This house is worth $300,000 now. That is stupid.
I ain't gonna tell.
And
Well, I'm not gonna tell
it's
you what
not
I bought mine for.
it's not
Go
my it's
ahead.
not my money, right? But it's the mortgage companies. It's these big old
Yeah.
companies that are causing these prices to go up, and they're the one that's making it hard for people to afford houses. It's crazy if you don't want to have a conversation about
It's
what these rich
ridiculous.
do. Yeah.
Isn't it? Because I know what I paid for mine, and I know what it's worth now. It's ridiculous. This should not be worth this. It should
No.
not be worth this. And if I had to try to get this now, I wouldn't be able to. Would not be able to.
Well, yeah, see,
And
because
to
the,
be
the
on,
market is crazy. So
and to be,
if I sold my house for $300,000, guess what I'm getting into? I'm getting into a market I got to go buy a house for $300,000.
and,
That leaves
yeah,
me
and
at
spend
zero.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. It takes you back. Like back in the day, people would be able to gain a little bit of interest in things in their homes, so they want to sell. They
Yeah.
take this out, buy this, that. People can't buy homes, and people being on the side of the mega rich, you've got to be insane unless you're one of them.
Yeah, it
And
used to
I'm
be a
not
good
one of them, and
idea.
I don't.
It used to be a good idea
Crazy.
to go do a home equity loan and a line of credit on your house. I wouldn't touch that shit now. I would not
Mm-mm.
touch that.
No, I would use it. If we talk about, I talk about we did some of my principles. If we talk about it, just leave it there, because we don't know how bad things is gonna get, and you might gonna need it. But yeah, the rich, who, and food and everything is extra high. All of the safety nets with the government, as far as the banks now, they have removed all of that, so they could charge you any type of late fees, any type of this. They could take advantage of you. All of the cellular companies and different things like that, they could charge you all these exorbitant fees. When we had a government that would hold these mega rich people back from doing some of it, and we don't have any of those loopholes. We don't have any of those now. They got rid of that. And for people to be on the side of that, you must be mega rich to be on the side of that. And this is my thing. Whoever's rich, be rich. I don't begrudge. I wish I was rich. I wish I was rich. Yeah, I wish I was rich or mega wealthy. I wish I was that, but I'm not. But just like I heard one mega wealthy, I can't think of his name right now. And like he was saying, he got billions. He said, I have enough money and I still make more. He said, but it's time, before everything is destroyed, we need to start paying our fair share and stop taking, what's his name? It'll come to me in a little bit. He was talking about that this is ridiculous. If this was a mega rich person, and to sit and say broke people, well, we are all, your ass broke too compared to them. And you're not supposed to be on the side of them. Why would anybody be on the side of them? Because they
That's
got
that
there.
programming. That's that programming that I'm
Warren,
talking about.
Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, he was saying that I got enough money and I'm still making more. But it's time we should have been paying our fair share, and we would still have much more than everybody else. And that is just it. And to be on those who want to continue to strip and these tariffs and things, like they removed the. Let me get I'm just I want to pronounce it correctly. And people, somebody on the side of this type of stuff, on $800. What do you call it? $800. $800. Tariff gone. I want to get the name correct. And that's been in 30. And that's just more tax. Okay, the U.S. did minimus tariff exemption, which Trump them got rid of that. It expired on August 29th, which allowed packages valued at or below $800 to enter the country duty-free, ended on August 29th, 2025, due to an executive order by President Trump starting on this date. This low value, so like people, everybody who used to order from AliExpress, so all of the fast clothing and different things like that. That was one thing that we hear in Americans, that because we pay so much more for things than people other places. But that was one thing that we had, that if you decided you wanted to order a phone battery, or if I wanted to order some doll stuff, or Tyrone, you wanted to order some of your stuff from Temu or wherever, it doesn't have to be those fast companies, but you want to order something from Greece, You want to
Yeah.
order something or whatever the hell it is. And if it was 800 and below, we didn't pay tariffs. Other countries paid tariffs on packages that they ordered. Now, I don't know how, but most countries, I think Europe and Australia, Canada, but they've always paid tariffs. That was a grace that we had here in the United States, if we could order, if we just pay for the shipping. All that's gone. And I see like people ordering things that they normally would order, and they're getting, and you know who's going to be making good money off of that? Good money. And when it was broken down, if you try to go secondary delivery, such as UPS, FedEx, and I can't think of what the other one is called, they're happy about it. They're going to be making money, and that's extra tariff money going to the government. And someone I saw ordered something from off of one of the websites. I think it was AliExpress, and the order was like, they wanted to see, and the order was like $90, and they got a notice from whoever was supposed to be delivering it that they had to come in and pay $70-something to pick up their order. We didn't used to have to do stuff like that.
No.
And now we do. And that's money going to the government so they can help to pay. They can help for this. All like I said, we're adding on all these trillions for all of you all's kids and grandkids and great-great-grands onto the deficit for this tax cut that they're giving them. And that's just more money to go into that pot. They're stripping everything away to go into the pot to give more money to the rich. And you got people on the side of the rich when they can be rich. Nobody is against them being rich. You have a lot of people that say there shouldn't be any billionaires. I would not say that.
Well, I would say that.
I would say that. I would say if you create something, do something, this, that, and you have made you some billions of dollars, fine. Just pay your fair share out of that. Don't strip away.
Yeah, you pay your fair share, but there should be a cap too. There is no way in the world that somebody should be. There is no way somebody should be Elon Musk rich. And we watched the danger with Elon Musk because he has so much money that he involved himself in a world government power, and he made a difference.
He bought an election. Yeah, we shouldn't have that.
And he bought a whole social media platform to spread propaganda. So there should be a cap on how rich you get, because I mean, to be Elon Musk rich, that's just stupid. That don't make no sense.
They need to take money out of politics. That would help. Take money out of politics, and then let the people decide how they want to be governed. The rich, the mega rich, pay their fair share, and things like that. And you might could have something that looks like, it wouldn't be, but something that looks like a just society. But the way it is right now, and I don't tell anybody to be on the side of anything. They're calling people broke when they have it's just strict. Like you know what, Snags? That's why they want to like with the post office, the United States Post Office, and let's just say and the railroads as well. They want to privatize that. And the post office is an entity, government, that is separate from government, that wasn't supposed to be about profit. It was an entity that was created. People need to look up. You take the post office. It was something that was created for the people to be able to use. You had to pay for it. Yes, you did. You had to pay for the services. But they tried to keep it as cheap as they could. But it was an entity created for the people to use, small businesses and large businesses, whatever, to be able to use for shipping, regular people to be able to use mail and different things like that. You had to pay for it. They was trying to keep it, but they was like, the post office is losing money. The post office is not making money. Well, the post office is supposed to make money. It's supposed to make the money to keep itself solvent. And
well, that's what they were telling people. But the profile, what they do, okay, so they went through this period, and I don't know why people agree with it, to where they privatizing everything, right? So if you privatize housing, if you privatize the post office, now the CEOs is making money of those companies, and that's
and you're paying more.
Yeah,
and you're paying more.
That's the formula that they're using, is they privatizing everything. And
Privatize it.
the
And if
post
they want
office
to
is
do
just
the
another
same thing
victim.
with and like the railroads, they want to do that with that because a lot of companies use freight to ship. And they want to privatize all of that so the rich can make money off that stuff.
Yeah, and
So
that's why
they can gobble up and make money off all that stuff. The post office, the railways, and those were things for the people to pay for that they could be able to maintain their small businesses. Everyday people can maintain to do, but that's what they talk about privatizing it because it could be making money. It's not supposed to make money. It's supposed to make money to contain itself. That's what it was created to do.
Yeah, that's
you
why I
have
was
people that
against. I
say,
was
well-
against school of choice because choice, and they made it sound so good. And Bianca used to get on here and scream that shit all the time, but that was just stupid. School of choice ain't nothing but privatization of public schools, and they want
Public
nothing
schools.
wrong with public schools until they started defunding the goddamn public schools, so they
They're not
can
even schools.
so
there
they
you
can
go.
privatize it. So that's
So
all
they want
that
to
happened to public
privatize
schools.
it. And then with your relatives, people who on the side of the rich, your relatives, you and some few people will be able to pay for your children to go to school, but a lot of people won't be able to afford it.
No, because they want
And
nothing wrong
that
with
was-
public schools. Public schools was having they produce good
It needed
students.
to be funded correctly. It needed to be funded correctly, and they needed to have the correct curriculum and stuff like that. They created that to educate the people in the country. Because if you have a dumb country, you have a poor, if you have an uneducated, not dumb, I'm sorry, wrong word.
Well, no, they
If you have
dumb.
an uneducated country, no, I'm just talking about the regular people like how it was before we had national education. If you have a population of people who are uneducated, then you're going to have a poor country. So the thought was we have to educate the people in mass. And then they said we're going to make it mandatory for everybody to at least get the grade school up to one, but you can drop out. But you understand what I'm saying. K through 12, mandatory, and the children everyone could get educated, because when you have an uneducated population, have a poor population. And that's just the truth. That is just the truth.
Well, yeah, they
And
started
don't take
messing
my
with
word for it. People can research this stuff.
they started messing with the public education system with that No Child Left Behind shit. That people don't realize that No Child Left Behind, it ruined the public education because it required a whole lot of testing, and they was required to push students along even though they ain't learn. So that really messed the education system up.
Now, I will tell you this. I don't have a problem with some charter schools that they have certain education that's on a higher level. Because a lot of private schools and parochial schools and things,
But
the
it's
education
designed
is
that
a little
way.
higher.
It's designed that way.
It's designed that way, but I don't.
It's designed to produce good students. That's what you pay for.
Because some students are ahead of other students. So if there's a charter school that's really, and they're focusing on mathematics and science, and some students are just smarter, some students are able to figure, I don't think that they should be held back, to the regular education. So we do need to have facilities for those when it comes to the testing, that they can be able to go and get their math and their science, because some are just smarter than others.
It shouldn't be privatized though, or charter schools, but because the government can handle that too. They always have. You've had students in the history that achieved higher than other students, and they was able to go to a higher academic training compared to their students, the other students. They've always had a way for smarter kids to excel.
They had a way. Because like in the States, because not too far from me, it's public high school. And a lot of states have them, and they call them tag schools. And I know my cousin and all of them, they went to tag school. And they offered more comprehensive courses. It's still regular public school. They offer more comprehensive courses for students who, after tag, was just talented and gifted. And tested off the charts and different things like that. And if your school wasn't a tag school, you could put in to send your child to the tag schools in the area, schools that's going to really press and meet their needs. That's what the public school needs to be doing. Certain schools should have tag programs, and students, even if it's not in your district, you apply, you should be able to go. That is a way to meet the needs of those who are a little bit further, who are further along than the rest, and it's still public school.
But it's all privatization. It's these big corporations making money, and everything is being privatized. Everything is being corporation driven.
So that the mega rich can make more money, and I don't see why people don't understand that. I don't see.
Yeah, just
so
like,
if I'm broke, I'll be a broke bitch who got the truth.
Just like the ambulance service. I remember when I was a child, it didn't cost you a damn dime to ride into a damn ambulance to the hospital. It didn't cost shit. But now you got to pay damn near $1,000 to ride in the goddamn ambulance.
Really?
Yeah,
you always had to pay to ride in an ambulance here.
No.
Because I had to go to the hospital in an ambulance. But here you did. I had to go to the hospital in an ambulance. I think I was like 22 after I had my gallbladder surgery. And when that bill came, I didn't pay it though. I didn't pay it. Because somebody said the state gonna write that off anyway. And they did. I didn't pay it. But these private ambulance services, they will come after you for their money. But this was just like a regular state hospital that they took me to. Somebody said, don't pay that. I was like, but they're supposed to do this. No. The state will write that off and will pay that off. And they did. But they'll take you, but you still get the bill. You still get the bill for it. But the private ambulances, that's a different thing.
Okay, so I just Googled it, and it said ambulance rides were generally free of charge in the United States of America around 30 to 40 years ago in the 1970s and 80s, as they was considered public or volunteer services funded by the taxpayer. Today, most ambulance rides operate as a private business. And that's, I remember that the ambulances was free.
It probably was, like I said, because when I had to go in an ambulance, but it wasn't that long ago. It was like maybe 20 years ago. So, and not even that, but maybe 20 years ago. So you had paid for that stuff. So if you said like in the 80s, that wasn't in the 80s when I had to go to the hospital. So yeah, it probably had been changed.
It was probably cheaper, but nowadays it costs forever, and that's because it's been privatized. That's because
that thing was like $800-something.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Take me from one. Yeah, take me from one place. Somebody said, "Don't pay that. Don't pay that." Where did they take me to? And I said, "Man," they said, "Don't pay that." I know I didn't know, and I said they're gonna come after me. I'm gonna have my check done. It's like, no, they took you to a state hospital. Took you to this. Don't pay that, and I didn't pay it, and I didn't see it anywhere on my credit. And yeah, I got the bill. I just ignored it. They said, "Don't pay that. Don't pay that. Don't pay that," and they kept billing, and they turned it over to some type of medical collection, and they don't pay it. And I listened, and I was checking my credit to see, and you see that they said, well, they have another thing that they have it on, but not your regular credit. And after time went away, that thing went away. I ain't heard. And then
that's good then. That's good.
Yeah, if something had went on where the state just took the state
because the credit company was supposed to monitor stuff like loans and stuff that you go borrow money for. Now that was a medical situation.
Yeah.
But
that went. Yeah.
They threatened to put it on your credit, but they didn't.
But they did.
That's good.
Now. And I was like, oh, great. I'm so glad I didn't pay. I was going to try to pay it. And they had the collection from the medical collection thing. They was like, well, we could work out a payment plan. And I was thinking about it. So they said, don't pay that because you pay state. And I remember everybody said, you pay state taxes, pay federal taxes. You pay taxes, taxes, taxes. Don't pay that. And the people who were telling me that, they were right on. They were right on with that stuff. But the Trump administration, they trying to change it with medical stuff going your regular credit. They
But they
trying to
charge
change
for
that.
everything. They charge for every
Mhm.
motherfucking thing, everything. They don't. I don't know. I do not recognize this damn country. I really don't. It's
I
just
don't
crazy.
either. I don't recognize it either. They try to put medical stuff on your credit and stuff like that. If you can't pay it, you don't pay. I could have paid that, but I'm glad I did it. I'm very happy that I did it. The state took it over because I remember like years later, I got a letter and basically the state just paid that to solve that. That was it. They was like, and I was telling some of them, they was like, told you, it was, told you, don't pay that. Don't pay that. I mean, unless you just want to give away money. And these are people who have been to the hospital and stuff in an ambulance. They ain't paid. It ain't going over them. But now, I don't know, I'd be scared to do that now.
And
I'd
that,
be too afraid to do that.
and this is what these people voted for when they voted for Donald Trump. They put a rich man in the office, and his cabinet was all fucking billionaires, and they don't give a shit about the American people. They don't care. They don't care whether you live or die. They don't care whether you eat or starve. These people do not care about you, but they still support this damn pea grabbing, child molesting, whatever. I don't. That man is a creep. Did you see the news where they was throwing trash bags out of the White House window?
Yeah, I saw that.
Whatever
that was about.
I think that Trump probably pooped on himself, and they getting rid of it. They turned it. I don't know what that was, but that was disgusting. Whatever they were throwing out there, I don't even know what was in the bags.
Whatever that was just odd. That was beyond crazy. There's so much craziness going on.
They say he wear diapers. They say he wear diapers.
And there's certain suits and things that he have on. You can see where that thing is his pants. I think he wear more than diapers. I think he probably got people colostomy. What's he called? A colostomy bag. Mm-hmm. I think he got that too. Because when he walked, he been pointing it out. Yeah, he got something that goes up the side of his leg.
Well, yeah, but see, they were going
that's
crazy.
Always a sign.
They was going crazy over Joe Biden's health, right? But they ain't saying a damn thing about Donald Trump and how sick he is. And I'm telling you, there's something wrong with that man because of the shit. Just because whenever he having a general conversation, that man has never had an intelligent, high-level conversation come out of his mouth. Never.
The media, the legacy media, they're not addressing that. They told Joe Biden a new one. But the legacy media, now alternative media, that's all you see that they're talking about. But what do you think went on when he was missing for them days?
Well, they got on my nerves with that. They had to kill Donald Trump.
I know.
Donald Trump, they done killed him and had his funeral and everything. I said, okay, now this is a bit much right here. Jesus, they were wishing that he would die. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Because you crossed my mind when all of that was going on. Because I stayed up kind of late and was reading all the stuff. Because some of the stuff people were saying, it was funny. You got to admit it. It was funny. Mm-hmm. But I started question. I didn't think because I remember different people I was talking to, my mom and some of my friends and stuff. We were talking about that. And I was like, no, I don't think he has passed. I don't think so.
That was a stretch.
I don't think he's passed. I think he got seriously ill or he went in for a procedure.
Yeah, whatever it is, we ain't gonna never know. He's 80-something years old, so I mean he's gonna get sick. Who's this unknown caller?
Big OC.
What's up, Big OC?
Hi, Big OC. But I think he had a procedure. Them pictures, he was looking pretty peaked. I think he had a procedure. And then when we saw him in front of the camera, he still looked peaked. But I think that they had him all doped up with steroids and different things like that to get him through. But I think he had a procedure done. But go ahead, Big OC. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We need to start that narrative. Yeah, he was on something.
I believe during that interview, he was hopped up on something. Remember what they did to Joe Biden for his State of the Union? Same thing with Trump. They must have pumped him up full of something.
But they ain't talking about it like that, though.
To put him back, push him back out there in front of the camera. I think they had him all steroid up, all whatever up, to be able to push him. But he had some type of procedure. Well, because he is ill. He's ill.
Yeah, he's sick. But these people had done and killed him. I was like, Jesus Christ, Trump is not dead.
We just see that the thing is what the American people, I think, gonna have to come to grips with is, do we go back to the old way of presidential, how presidents operated before Donald Trump, or do we keep it with whoever's in doing their own thing? Because
I can tell you this:
we're gonna have to make.
If the Democrats get in charge, right, they're going to go straight back to the old ways. That is no doubt in my mind. And that's not that is not what the country gonna want no more though. But the Democrats is going to stick to the damn. They need to change what the hell they doing. They need to do it a different way. They need that dude in New York, Gavin Newsom, Jasmine Crockett, AOC, that little young guy out of Florida. They need to start leading like those people speak. Maxwell Frost. That's what the Democrats need to do. They need to get rid of the Chuck Schumer mentality, the Nancy Pelosi mentality.
Yeah,
they need to get rid of that shit. The Clyburn tap mentality. Get rid of that shit.
It can't be no more our founding fathers, our this, because Trump don't bring up nothing from the past. He don't give a fuck. I don't think he even cares, unless it's about some Confederate general or whatever somebody talks about.
He's destroying the White House, and nobody ain't saying a motherfucking thing.
Yeah,
he's destroying
that
historic building. He's gonna put a parking lot on the Rose Garden, and he's building shit, golden fucking goddamn memento to himself at the White House. He's destroying the White House. Nobody ain't saying shit.
Well, see, there you go. So my thing is the next president gonna come in and add a game room with pool tables and shit? Because if he do, we should allow it. We should make that shit how you want it. Make it how you want it.
We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to allow it now.
Yeah, anything is gonna be allowed going forward. We just gotta hope we get the person in there that's on the side of the people.
We need to go ahead and rally behind Gavin Newsom. I know he got some dirt. He got some skeleton in his closet, but shit. I mean, we need to rally behind some damn.
Tyrone, every time Trump speaks, he tells you that he made some money.
Oh yeah,
and that's what I find. That's what I find weird. That's what I find weird. Because when they say, "Oh, where were you?" You disappeared. He's like, "Oh, I was doing some press conferences. We went down to the golf club that I own, the Potomac." What that told me is
golf courses
your golf course
and shit
made
like
money.
That. Jesus.
Yeah, you went to go make some money for your course. So my whole thing is everything's been different for this president, so that means it can be different for everybody going forward. We ain't never seen this man run, nothing. All we see him do is swing golf clubs. Outside of that, we ain't seen him do shit else.
I agree. And they announced that Eric Trump.
We've seen Obama hooping, or even Biden rode a bike. Even Biden would jog and ride a bike. I ain't seen Trump jog yet. Everyone say he in such physical shape. He got so much energy. It's not hard to stay up all night if you ain't doing shit.
It's not. And Biden used to ride bicycles and stuff like that, because he used to go on bike riding and things like that. They announced the other day that Eric Trump is a billionaire now. That's the least smartest. Is a billionaire now. And look how they was talking about how much money did they claim that what was Joe Biden's son
Hunter Biden
on his laptop? Hunter Biden. They talking about and this dude done made $1 billion, his son. But Tyrone, let me since we got somebody else on the phone, let me ask to go see. Me and Tyrone, we were talking, I don't know if you've listened, but let me ask you the what if. What if, so like this whole Epstein thing, and everything and all kind of stuff is released, and we have videos, and we have stills, and we have all of the evidence with him. Let's just say this is with Orange this is hypothetically, because we don't know, but with him with 12, 13-year-old, 14-year-olds, and he's engaged in the most depraved act that all of it come out, and let's just say, and the whole world see it is there. Do you think that will bring down his? Do you think he could squirt out of that?
Well,
squirm
what
out
I
of
think
it.
what
That'll
happened,
squirm.
I think there'll be a domino effect from there, which may not help him, because I think right when that happens, Melania splits, right? So there's going to be that piece. She's gone. Sources say Melania's left wherever the fuck she is. So she's going to have to bounce out because everybody's going to be on her ass for information. So she's going to have to shake it. So that'll be the first thing to drop, because I don't think she's going to stay by his side through all this shit, especially if it's evidence that's coming out, because she's involved too. At the end of the day, remember, she's involved too. Even though she's been real quiet, she's involved too.
Yeah.
Well, what they say is, they have sex the first time on his plane. So she involved too. Second, Trump can't explain himself enough, or he wouldn't be able to explain himself to some of the Republicans that are out for blood right now. And I think that's what's fucking them up right now. There you go. The Democrats are saying it's the Republicans. It's Marjorie Taylor Greene that's got them fucked up right now. It's Nancy Mace that's got them fucked up right now.
And those
are two Republican women, that I don't think they're gonna let it ride. I don't really think they're gonna let it go. And right now, it's not at a place now where it could die out anymore. It can't just die out. That day he said, Jeffrey Epstein, you're still talking about Jeffrey Epstein. That's when the legs came back. He brought the legs back when he did that. And now that the victims are out, now people are seeing who they are. All their people that they know in life are now going to see, oh, you were an Epstein victim. It can't die out now. It can't die out.
So
now.
you think that that'll be his downfall, the administration downfall, if something like that happens?
Ain't nobody gonna want to want to align themselves, or any person that's concerned with their image and what their constituents are gonna say are gonna be like, hey, wait a minute, he was already convicted of shit like this. Now we see it with underage. We got to impeach him because it's got to lead to an impeachment, right? And there's a clause in there, right? What is it? The whatever clause where they can remove a president?
The 25th Amendment.
Yeah, whatever the fuck. There you go.
The Senate will convict. And let me ask you, as bad as the MAGA party is, if all of that were to come out, do you think that some of them who secretly despise him, they'll look at it as that's their chance to get him gone?
I honestly don't think any of them are really MAGA. I don't even think Trump is MAGA. I just think that was a slogan, and that was just branding, and it worked. Because if you ask the people, once again, MAGA is just, we all like Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That's all it means to me, because I don't know what policies behind it. I don't know what principles are behind it. I don't know what they stand for. So, I don't think Donald Trump is MAGA. I just think that was a slogan.
I don't think he's not. I've been saying that for the longest. He just wants power because of who he is. He wants money. He wants power. So he'll do whatever it is that it takes to get it. You got people behind him pushing that.
Yeah, you just have a man who had a very large ego. You know what I'm saying? And like from the first one, I don't think he planned on winning.
Add that.
Yeah. He didn't plan on winning. He didn't plan on winning because he has no plans. That's how you know he didn't plan to win. And once again, the simple things. We just got to look at the simple things. How many people went to jail around Obama?
Right.
That we know of.
But that don't matter to these people, man. They don't even look at it like that.
But that's what I'm saying. It's gonna matter once something rocks them that they can't deny. You know what I'm saying? And there's been a lot of things they can't deny, but the lady, those were so old. it was back then. It happened then. The court of law, none of that shit matters. Trump made the courts kind of impotent. Think about all his convictions. What punishment did he get really in the end?
None.
All of it was really just.
Well, I mean, he's already confessed basically that he had that Jufrey girl working at his spa underage, and Jeffrey Epstein picked her ass. But she's a minor.
You got to put that together. The people got to sit down and listen, because some people think, oh no, he got rid of Epstein because he found out about all that sleeping with kids. When Trump told us the other day he got rid of Epstein because Epstein was taking his people.
Taking a minor.
Right. It had nothing to do with him messing with minors.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It had to do with him poaching his people.
Well, you and Lisa,
out there, MAGA's going to say, oh, once he found out Jeffrey Epstein messed with underage girls, he kicked him out of his golf course. But that's not the fact.
Well, you and Lisa giving these crazy ass retarded people, I ain't mean to say retarded, but these crazy slow cult followers more credit than I'm gonna give them. I think that they're gonna still stick in there, even though his name is in big. His name is in big bold letters right there on that list. I still think that they're gonna stick in there.
Yeah, a lot of people will, but the people that matter.
What you talking about? Okay, so what about a Lindsey Graham? Do you think a Lindsey Graham or the South Carolina guy with the teeth, Tim Scott? You think that they're gonna turn on him?
Hey, Tyrone, we just gotta be when we see their supporters, we gotta say you guys support a rapist and leave it right there.
Well, you can say that now.
No, those people. That you guys support a rapist. No, you got to say the word rapist.
Yeah, you got to.
You got to say all that to them.
You support
and regular people don't get sick of that.
Yeah.
So do I think like your Lindsey Grahams and your Tim Scotts and your this and that will stick by him? No.
Well, see, you
if the most depraved is supposed to come out, hypothetically speaking, if we know what the most depraved is. No, Tyrone. I'm not talking about the
I think that they will.
Man, I'm not them. No, I don't think because I don't see how you see that. I'm not talking about just a regular average.
I see that because of everything else that they let slide. That's how I see it.
That'll be their chance to get him gone. That'll be their chance. Because it's not saying they don't still want power, they don't still want this, that'll be their chance to get him gone without too much consequences. It's going to fall back on them. If the most depraved come out, they can use that.
Well, that's the common sense way. That's the common sense way to think about it. But
that's the only way. And they will start building, creating another Ronald Reagan. That's all they got to do.
Another thing, real quick, Tyrone. If Nick Fuentes keep gaining steam, there really shouldn't be no more black Republicans, because he's telling them already.
I tell you.
Get the fuck out of our party. We don't want you fucking niggers here anyway.
See, and that's a perfect example. Even though Nick Fuentes is out there saying that, right? You still have the Sarges and the ABCs. They gonna still stick in there. This is why I'm saying. If it comes to Jeffrey Epstein, these people are so mentally brain fucked that they're gonna still try to support this guy. I believe they are.
But do you think that's the majority of the country though?
I don't think it's the majority, but I think it's the majority of his base. Majority of his base.
Do you think it's half? Do you think it's half of the country?
No, I'm talking about the voting population. I think it's the majority of his base.
No. His base. But his base has fallen off. Well, we just agree to disagree.
I think it's the most depraved. Trump has always maintained this 30% of Republicans, and that's significant. That will stick by him 100%. He always had that from day one. From the first election, it was 30%, and all the way up to now, it's always 30%. And that's a strong enough part of that base to keep him in power. Because they're because they're boisterous,
30%.
they're loud, they're on social media, they will troll for him, they will go out and go to war for this guy.
So 30% of the Republicans can keep him in power, and 30% of the Republicans can do it all.
That's what's been happening, Elisa. Look at the numbers.
No, more people voted for him than just 30. More people voted for him than just 30% of the Republicans.
No, they did, but I'm just saying the strong Trump, always Trump people. That's always been 30%. You got some people on different issues in the Republican Party that disagree with him, but there's always been that 30% that does everything Donald Trump said.
Okay, well, we agree to disagree. If the most depraved came out, that will bring down his administration.
Well, we live in a sick ass country. I'm at with. We live in a sick ass country.
Like I told y'all, in a couple of weeks, I'm gonna be with somebody from the Heritage Foundation, and I'm gonna ask them some questions about what they talking about right now. I want to really see if they really run things like everybody say they do.
I think they do.
Yeah, and I'm curious to hear that. I would be curious to hear about that too as well. But Tyrone, a lot of people in his party are savoring at the time where he will be gone, and if they can use the most depraved to do it without a lot of consequences, don't think they will, because it's easy to just build another Ronald Reagan. It really is. It's easy to build another Ronald Reagan.
Well, I think that they're showing us who they are right now. And we need to pay attention to these people, because no matter what those people do, no matter what depraved, sick behavior Donald Trump display, those people always stand up in line and follow that guy.
Because what was that look?
Trump, it ain't just Trump though. Look, did y'all watch any of the Senate hearing with Robert Kennedy?
Yeah.
I heard about it. I didn't watch it. I can't stand it.
I watched it.
He is a goddamn fool.
Yeah. He's insane. That man is insane.
It's like, motherfucker, you were running as a goddamn Democrat, then you ended up working for the Republican. Man, Donald Trump did that shit on purpose. Like, I'm gonna make everything stupid, and just everything right now. He ain't even using the Senate and the House, even though they got a majority. He ain't even using them. He looked at them like, fuck y'all too.
And just do what he wanted to.
Go on about doing whatever. Yeah.
Because
I don't know what bills. I don't know what's up there getting passed. I don't hear nobody talking about the big beautiful bill no more. You don't even hear that anymore. You don't even hear it anymore. Big beautiful bill. Nothing.
I think that they try to rebrand it. I think they try to rename it.
They're trying, yeah, they probably are. But then you know what? The RFK Jr., the fact that he going after big pharma and stuff with them vaccines and different things like that, I think that's what he made, because he's so crazy. I think that's his big mistake right there. That's going to be his downfall. Because that's the top 1% when people get money off of that. So I think that's just going to be his downfall. And I think Trump will allow him to fall. Because he going after big pharma.
Well, see, he got a side hustle too. He's selling these little pills. He's selling so he's making those people money. He's making those people money.
So he's making money. That's why he got that $40 million from. So he's making money off of that. But that's why if you had listened, Bernie Sanders asked him a great question, a lot of good questions today, and he was talking about, like you're saying, that big pharma is the medical industry, big pharma, and all of them, they're compromised and that they have been taken over. They this that. And Bernie knew what he was doing. I was like, get it, Bernie. And he was like, yes, they are. Blah, 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 blah. And he said, both sides. He said the Republican Party, the party that you're working for, they get a lot of money from them. Well, they're still blah, blah, blah. He said, and the Democrats, they get money from them too. So you say that they're compromised, that they have to hijack and they doing this and that, and all of the information that they're putting out about their science and this and that big pharma and all of them have been hijacked. And the medical status and all that's been hijacked. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. I was like, get it, Bernie. Bernie asked the right questions. And he asked the right questions because he knows this fool is taking on, he's taking on Gigantor. And your days is numbered. And people, they miss that. That's why Bernie asked those questions like that. So this is what you're trying to do? All of them, they have compromised and they have been hijacked. You talking about the whole medical industry, Big Pharma and all of them? Yes. And did this and that, man, it's so crazy. He said yes. And Bernie got him on the television for the whole world to see saying that. Big Pharma is part of the 1%. They get money from that. And I was like, well, Kennedy, his days is numbered because Trump ain't going to have no choice but to, I got what I wanted out of him and let him fold. Because when he answered those questions, and the rest of them was asking him questions, but you needed to hear what Bernie was saying. And the question's Bernie. And when he said, well, you know both sides of the aisle, he said the Republicans, they get big money. He said some Democrats too. They get big money from them. So that's what you're saying? And he was like, yeah. I was like, get it, Bernie. Bernie is a smart dude. So he got him to admit who he going after. And he's, that's not going to work out for you, RFK. And Trump ain't going to be able to do nothing about it. So I would, Tyler, if you get a chance, when you do have time, go listen to Bernie's questioning of RFK. They rolled him over the, and some woman blurted out in a wheelchair. Listen to Bernie questioning RFK, and he asked the right questions because he know what will get him in trouble, what will be his downfall, and what he's trying to do. That's going to be his downfall because you just trying to take that on.
But still, he ain't going nowhere unless Trump send him somewhere. His downfall.
Trump will let him. Trump will remove him from that because once the people who help put no, because you have to think about it. Big Pharma and them rich people and those mega rich people, they're part of that 1%. And Big Pharma, them type of people, too many of Trump and his whole party has taken too much money from them for them to allow that to slide. All he got to do is just move him around, get him off of it, get him off of that. He'll just move him around because they will call a meeting quick because Trump still needs them people. He still needs them. And that's all that stuff he was saying. That's why he asked them questions because that's part of the 1%.
Well, I don't think Donald Trump will get rid of him because that's just what Donald Trump do. He holding on to Hess, Jeff. He's holding on to.
I don't think he's paying attention.
Yeah. Well, he better be paying attention. Look what happened to Elon Musk. Did Elon not say, "Oh well, I decided that's what we will hear. I decided we're gonna put him in." That's how it will go. I'm not gonna say just fire, man. You gotta say first. Look at what he got rid of his biggest donor, Elon.
Well, Elon.
You don't think that he will find a way? You don't think he will find a way to move RFK to the side for Big Pharma?
Elon won't.
Guys, look what happened to Elon. Look what happened to Elon.
Elon won't no cabinet member.
Ain't nobody been moved over
Elon
yet.
won't no cabinet member though.
Ain't nobody been moved yet. Pam Bondi got him fucked up in the game. She's still around.
Well, he got to keep her. You can't just because y'all wasn't paying attention to what happened to Elon. But Elon, well, I've done my.
But I'm saying Elon wasn't no cabinet member.
Right. He was just in there doing the rich man thing.
No, Elon was his vice president. Come on, God, what were y'all?
No, he wasn't. Okay, he was a quasi. He was a quasi administrating person, but he was not no cabinet member. Elon was just a civilian at the White House. It doesn't matter. Yeah, that does matter because RFK is a cabinet member.
I don't know where y'all at. Y'all gonna say that the 1% who making all that money off of Big Pharma gonna accept that RFK coming for them? They're gonna accept that?
Well, I'm telling you, Donald Trump ain't gonna get rid of him.
You know what I think we've gotten caught up in? I think since Trump came in, he's pulled the wool off a lot of these industries. I don't think they got as much power as we thought they did.
He ain't pulled no wool off the industry, not like that.
Yeah,
because they were the ones that gotta put them in there. Yeah, so y'all actually say Big Pharma gonna let that. Y'all think Big Pharma gonna let that slide?
RFK told the lady from the CDC, you need to fire these people, and then you need to hire the ones that I send up. Those are not people that are concerned with doing anything. Man, all right.
Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about.
No, what I'm saying is I don't believe any of those industries really have the strength to do what in the past, yes, we were funding a lot of those different things, but then Trump said, no, fuck that. We cutting all that off. And what's happened? Nothing.
No, but this is not about cutting all that off. What I'm saying is, y'all really think that Big Pharma gonna let that slide?
Here you go, thinking Big Pharma got some power. Trump done showed you they can't do shit to him.
They don't. No. Big Pharma don't have power. Okay. They helped get him elected.
Did they give Trump more money than Elon did?
No, and Elon is gone.
Thanks. Exactly.
Elon is gone. And Elon is gone at the behest. And Elon is gone at the behest of Trump. And he gave him more money. He gave him more money probably than anybody.
So why would he be in a bed with Big Pharma then? Why is he concerned with what they're talking about?
The way I understand it with Big Pharma is an enemy of Donald Trump's base. People in Donald Trump's base don't trust medicine. They don't trust science. So Big Pharma is going to be like a casualty of war because Donald Trump, even though RFK is attacking Big Pharma, he's not going to defend Big Pharma. You ain't never heard Donald Trump defend Big Pharma.
Do y'all know? Okay, if y'all know, okay, I need somebody else on here who really understands. For many of y'all do, who Big Pharma is, and Big Pharma sucks the American people dry.
No, we know that they're powerful and they big.
And they have given so much money to the Republican Party to keep them in power, to help keep them in power, so they can continue sucking us dry. And when Trump was really crazy out here, as I remember, y'all didn't hear, but I told you this, Tyrone, when he was acting all crazy with them and talking about these businesses going to do this and they're going to do that, they called his ass up and they had a meeting. All of them CEOs, them mega rich, mega wealthy CEOs, and they had a meeting with him with certain things that he was talking about he was going to do, and they made him know you not going to do. He still has people he has to answer to. Y'all think he's all that? Y'all giving him too much credit.
Well, I mean,
and he didn't, and they made him pull back off of some of that stuff he was talking, and he pulled back and he didn't do it because they all got in there. They had a meeting with his ass. He still has people to answer to.
What I'm saying is RFK is in place because of Trump's base and their mistrust of the medical industry. And
yes, that's a part of his base.
RFK is doing exactly what Trump base want him to do when it comes to attacking Big Pharma and all that kind of stuff and the CDC and all of that. So RFK is doing exactly. The RFK is doing exactly
different.
RFK is doing exactly what Trump base want him to do. So Trump is not going to stick his neck out for Big Pharma. I think RFK is secure in what he's doing. That's why he's allowed to do it.
Okay, keep thinking that.
That's why he up there indignant. That's why he up there acting like he don't give a fuck.
Okay, y'all keep thinking that, and when what I say happens, I told you so person.
Well, I'll say I don't mind saying I was wrong, but from the way it looks now, and RFK just walking around like he God, you know, he just doing whatever the
Big
fuck.
Pharma had power. If they had that much power, they would have told Trump who to put in. That's just a position. You could put anybody in that spot, but he put in Bobby Kennedy.
He could because he
could have put in anybody. Big Pharma should have told him, "Hey, I need you to put this person in." He didn't, because I'm sure they didn't ask for Robert Kennedy.
No, but him putting Robert Kennedy.
Nobody asked.
No, but they probably thought that he would have them under control. Okay, I'm telling y'all, I'm right about this.
So you thinking that Donald Trump is going to get rid of RFK?
He's going to move him around. It's what I said. He's going to move them around because he's upsetting. This is my whole thing. Trump still has people to answer to. Y'all don't think that? He ain't answer to nobody. Y'all don't think he has nobody to answer to?
Well, he's answering to the Heritage Foundation and all of them people, so he got people to answer to. But I don't think that he gives a shit about Big Pharma.
At the end of the day, what can anybody do to Trump at this point? What can anybody do to Trump at this point where we're at now? What can they really do to him that they haven't done already?
Release all his stuff.
What's that gonna matter at this point? His people.
Okay, y'all really saying
hey, hold on,
that
Tyrone,
he has no one to answer to.
He got impeached twice.
That's different. That's politics.
He's been convicted 24 counts of sexual abuse, $100 million for a rape case. We've had several victims come out about rape. Now he embroiled in a child sex ring. So what are they gonna come up with, Elisa? Tell me what they're gonna come up with.
It's out there.
I don't know because I don't know his. Okay, wait a minute. No, everything is not out there, Tyrone. Everything is not out there.
What paperwork?
I tell you, somebody he answers to. Because y'all say he don't answer to nobody. Think of one person that you, because it's people he answers to.
What, Vladimir
one
Putin?
One person that you all.
Putin he answers to. That's about the only one.
No, y'all say he don't answer to nobody. He answers to him. And I'll tell you another person he answers to. Think of somebody else.
I don't know that
China dude. All that's part of the political theater. As far as I'm concerned, Trump is collecting dollars, and that's why he's in the position he's in to get that bread and get his sons.
So you're saying that he's answering to Putin? He's answering to Putin to get money? What I'm saying is
Trump lived 70-some years before he became a president. That's all I'm saying. These last 8 years I don't think going to define him. So what he's going to do is just bolster and enhance what he's been trying to do to build his brand and his family name.
No, I get that. So you saying he answering to Putin to get money? He can get that from the Saudis. He can get that from a lot of avenues. And hold on, a lot more. Wait a minute. And a lot more, and a lot more money from the Arabs. He could get a lot more than he can from Putin. And he could cut a deal. And he could cut a deal with Xi Jinping to get a lot more than what Putin has to offer. Y'all don't believe that Putin got stuff on Trump?
No.
You don't?
Well, I think that he got something on Trump. I think that he got something. But I don't think. But see, what I don't think that whatever Putin or whoever foreign leader got some on, I don't think that interferes with Trump domestically. And whenever you're talking about pharmaceutical companies,
no, not domestic stuff. I mean, that talk is
okay. But whenever you're talking about getting rid of, whenever you're talking about getting rid of RFK, that is a cabinet member domestically. And I don't think that he's going to mess with I don't think he's going to mess with RFK. I just don't. I don't see it.
And who do y'all think makes up Big Pharma? Okay. Who do y'all think? Y'all think that's just domestic?
No. Big Pharma is the international.
See, Big Pharma, yes, international. And what people are starting to learn is that the same medication over here they getting charged $100 for, and in other countries that shit is $10.
Yeah.
So people are trying to figure out why the fuck do we pay $100 and they pay $10 over
there. I said that. They have been draining us
if RFK figures that out and people's medications go from $40 to $4, they ain't gonna give a fuck what RFK said if they prescriptions come down.
Yeah, RFK to me RFK is kind of like he's able to do what he want to do because people do hate Big Pharma.
No, the people I hate Big Pharma. But that's not the point of who hates them. It's not the point who hates them. I'm just saying he's gonna move them around. Because you heard what Trump said last week over all this whole thing about these vaccines. He said, what did Trump say to do? What did he say to do?
I missed it.
Since y'all think he ain't listening to Big Pharma, what did he say to do? I want to ask y'all.
I don't know. I missed it. What did he say?
I'll pull it up because I don't want to.
I gotta go get my shots too. I hope the COVID shot's still available.
That's crazy you say that, Tyrone. I got COVID now.
Do you?
Yep.
I gotta go get. I had it one time, and the one time I missed my shot, I got that shit, man.
Yeah, I got that shit now, man. Diagnosed 2 days ago.
Let me find it because something he said on this stuff. Wait a minute. Because he said something about the damn vaccines and this and this and that, and right there was what he said. And people said, "Whoops, have y'all been following that closely? Whoops, is Trump turning on RFK?" Because it was something he said. He put out something about Big Pharma as it relates to. Because see, they done got in their ear. I'm gonna find it. Because the alternative media was talking about it all last week. And something Trump said that people made them go, whoops, wait a minute here now.
What I do see here is when I type in Trump and Big Pharma, President Trump demands America first prescription drug pricing. Trump is promising to slash drug prices by 1,500%. Trump pressures 17 pharma CEOs to cut U.S. drug prices. Trump signs executive order to reduce U.S. drug prices with most favored nation. Trump demands pharmaceutical companies release COVID drug success rates.
All of that is a lie. That's just for the press.
No, and he didn't do any of that because Big Pharma gonna get their money.
Hold on. Big Pharma, a big winner in Trump's proposed tax plan.
There you go.
They already taking care of him.
That's what I'm saying. He's taking care of them. And it was something
what I'm saying is he's taking care of them regardless of RFK. That's what I'm saying.
Huh?
I said he's taking care of them.
No, but it was something
regardless of RFK.
I can't find it. Let me find. Maybe I'll just pull up their video because they were talking about one of the alternative media. And people were like, "Wait a minute, is he kind of getting ready to throw him out to slaughter as it relates to Big Pharma?" It was something he was talking about. I don't want to paraphrase. I hate paraphrasing. But it was something he said as far as with the vaccine and Big Pharma and the companies and this, that, and RFK said something else that he said that made people say, whoops, wait a minute here now, because they didn't spoke to him. I should have kept that video. Wait a minute, I'm looking for it. But no, he takes care of them because they take care of him. And he doesn't need RFK anymore. Because you have to think about it, RFK, when it comes to the damn vaccines, that's not a large portion of Trump as far as the vaccine thing. That's a small sect of society. Even though we all question the vaccines, we have questions and things about it. But that's a small sect. It was something he said about we'll have them come in and this, that, something other he said. And they know that that's going to blow RFK out the water if that happens. And that's why people was questioning that. So I'm saying, y'all say he don't answer to nobody, so we go along with it. I'll have it next, because it's going to take me too long to try to, and it's already 12:30. But it was something that he said on the line of that. We'll have them speak, this is that as far as the vaccines, and there's something other he said, and how he said it, I got what he was saying, that he's been spoken to as far as RFK in his mouth. And so when it comes to that, he has to do. Just because he run roughshod over domestic stuff, they don't care nothing about him running roughshod over domestic stuff. But when it comes to the dollar, that's one thing that the capitalists, that's where they draw the line. They will draw, and so domestic stuff. No, they ain't worrying about that. long as they can continue to suck us dry, they don't care about that. But when you start talking about messing with their bottom line, then you got a problem. That's why all the CEOs called him in there and Trump backed off that stuff. But y'all say he don't answer to nobody, because he does.
Well,
he's not that smart.
No, he's not.
Trump is not a smart man. Y'all think it's just him pulling all these strings? No, he's just the puppet. He's just the puppet. And if it looked like things is getting ready to get too loose, they rein them in. They always have, they always will. And the fact that Elon Musk gave that little nice speech with that bruise, that fight he got into up in the White House, the fact that he's gone, y'all gonna say he won't move people around?
Well, Elon Musk ain't no cabinet member, and Elon Musk needed to get back.
Cabinet member doesn't matter. He was part of the regime. Well, it's not about cabinet and stuff, Tyrone. It's regime.
No, Elon Musk had his own company, his own business. He wasn't supposed to be there no damn way. And
so he wasn't. And a lot of things they're supposed to be.
And they still listening to him. I know they look like they fighting, but Elon Musk still, he has say so in some things.
I agree. Elon Musk was not part of the cabinet, so they say. But was he not a part of the regime?
Well, that's the only thing that matters. Yeah, he brought him in there.
So him having a cabinet job with Trump don't just, Big O.C. just got finished saying, he don't care nothing about the MAGA senators and the Congress and this, that. He do what he want to do. So does he care about cabinet people? No. He put them out there to be the talking heads and the mouthpieces to say and do what he wants. Musk was part of the regime that was about, because they all had to back off. A lot of them backed off and let Musk do whatever he wants. He was part of the regime. He was part of the regime. It's two different things that's going on here. We're cabinet members. No, that is of no importance. He don't care nothing about what cabinet members, as long as they do what he say. Do what he say and go out there and make cover for him. Look like he's trying to, it's not about that anymore. He doesn't care that the things that he's doing that he's not supposed to be doing. The House is supposed to be, when it comes, they're supposed to be setting tariffs. The House is supposed to be doing this. House is supposed to be, but he's doing it. You think he care about a cabinet member? If somebody's look like they might about to rock the boat a little bit, he'll just move them around. That's all. Move them around to save face. He moved Elon around. And Elon was like, yeah, I got to get it. That's all that is. It's about regime.
Well, what I'm saying
is Trump, a regime. This is not an administration.
Trump ain't got rid of nobody. The only reason Matt Gaetz left is because, he had to, because it was clear that he messed with that 17-year-old and paid her. But
there you go.
He really ain't got rid of nobody.
He wasn't worth.
Huh?
There you go. But he switched around. Who was that? Somebody that was getting too hot in his administration. He switched around two people in his administration. Now, I ain't saying get rid of
Dan Bongino, the FBI deputy director. He was raising hell one time about that Epstein list, and he's still there.
No, because they made him shut his mouth. That's different. But it was two people in his administration that he gave one of them, well, I'm going to make you the ambassador to such and such. He switched somebody else in place of that. And it was somebody else, I'm going to make you the ambassador to this, that. He moved some people around that the powers was like this, that they not going to work out. So he moved them around. That's all he's going to do with RFK is move them around. I didn't say fire or get rid of. He's just going to move them around. When things start to get a little bit too hot, I just move him around. He's going to be in charge of such and such. And then you hear somebody else, because he's done that, and I'm going to nominate. He has done that, Tyrone. Nobody said about getting rid of nobody. He has done that. And I'm nominating because he removed somebody around, about a month or so ago. And he nominated somebody new for that because the person that was there wasn't going to work out. So he will do that. That's what I'm saying. It's not just him. Y'all Donald Trump too much power. There's too much credit. He is not that smart of a man. He's smart, but he got a whole regime pushing this behind him. And if they tell him this right here not going to work out, and people from Big Pharma, these foundations, corporations, and these different things like that, that's a natural worldwide thing. What are you going to have to do with this, that? And then he'll just move them around. That's what I'm talking about. He still has people to answer to. And people who he's scared of. Putin is one. Y'all still ain't another one. No, he's not necessarily scared of this person, but this person has a FBI type thing just like he do. And he let him do what he want to do. Benjamin Netanyahu.
Oh, Netanyahu.
He let him do what he want to do because he got Mossad, and Mossad got stuff on him. Putin got his people. They got stuff on him.
I think Benjamin Netanyahu.
He ain't afraid of Benjamin Netanyahu, but he let him do what he want to do.
Nah, Benjamin Netanyahu would have been in jail absent this war happening.
Not by the hands of Trump. Not by the hands of Trump.
If they wouldn't have went into Gaza, Bibi Netanyahu would have been on the run.
Oh yeah, that's a given.
From the international community.
Yeah, international, yeah, but not at the hands of Trump. Trump ain't gonna do nothing to him. He let him do whatever it is that he wants to do. Just like that fool from over in Brazil who tried to pull that coup. And what did Trump do to try to help him? He slapped a 50% tariff on coffee, thinking that was going to get them to back down and not prosecute that man. And they was like, we prosecute, slap your 50% tariff. And look how much coffee costs in the store to us now. So it's people he will do stuff for. So it's just like he decided to do whatever he want to do. He still has some people he do stuff for. That's why coffee we was paying $8.99 for is $14 now. Because he was trying to fix Brazil, and they was like, slap your tariffs. We still prosecuting him. We're going to put his ass in prison. And I was proud of Brazil. And what they did, they said, because we part of the BRICS now. We don't need you. So it's not as cut and dry as a lot of people think it is. It's not that cut and dry. One of the reasons Trump is really sick. He still has people to answer to. Because he's not smart enough to do all this stuff. Or y'all know he's not smart. I can we can agree on that.
Well, no, but I mean, he has worked his way up the damn ladder to where he's the most powerful man on the damn planet.
He's not the most powerful man on the planet. He's not the most powerful on the planet.
And he's got the Supreme Court in his damn hands, and he's able to manipulate some of these judges in the United States, get these big corporations to pay him. And I don't know. Yeah. Trump, I got to give him credit, you know. But why you say he's not the most powerful man on the planet?
He's not the most powerful man on the planet right now.
Well, you know what? I agree with you. I agree with you because Vladimir Putin is, because he's Trump is his lapdog. So. And
there's another one too.
Who, China?
Another one too. Ping, Xi Jinping.
That's China, right?
Trump is, China. Trump is not the most. He's powerful now. And the only thing that he can do to really get his way for things that he wants to do as far as with Ping and them is to start a world war. And everybody over it at that point. But he's not the most powerful man on this planet. He's one of them, one of three. But he's not the most powerful man on this planet. Elon Musk found out he wasn't. But no, if Putin had to go grovel to Xi Jinping himself. He was sitting right up over there bowing and all of that stuff he was doing. That's the most powerful person on this planet right now.
Yeah, Trump is.
That's where the money is at. That's where the money is at, and it's going to continue to come.
Well, Donald Trump has the most powerful position on the planet, but he is not the most powerful man on the planet because he's a punk. He don't know how to use his power.
I agree with that. 1,000%. I agree with that. But he's not the most powerful. He has the most powerful position because he could say World War II and end everybody.
Yeah, he could run circles around the entire planet if he knew how, but he don't. He don't know what the hell he's doing.
And other things, but he's the money that's going to be coming for the next decades, the big, where the power is growing and where it's at, that's not here. That's not G7. It's not us. It's not G7 anymore. That's Asia. That's BRICS. That's GPA. And a lot of people, people have to get in on that and find out what's really going on. And Trump's scared of them. He's scared. Biden and all of them, where they started writing on the wall for decades what was going on over there. And
that's why I believe Russia has that tape that was in that dossier with Trump doing some crazy shit over there. I believe he does.
Think so too. I think so. So Trump he's very powerful, but it's like a thread. The thread pops. But he's powerful, no doubt. America still is it. The dollar is still reigning right now, but not for too much longer. Everybody going over there to kiss somebody else's ring.
Yep.
Not his. They're kissing somebody else's ring now.
Yeah, they said India, China, Russia, and those nations.
South Africa.
they got together. They formed a coalition. So the United States.
There's a bunch of countries. There's a bunch of them over there with the BRICS right now. And guess who else is in, and who the United States kind of need? Mexico. She's been going over there, and she's in good favor with them. Canada is doing business with them. A different European, they over there. The G7, it's just that's not where it's popping. It's popping with the BRICS right now. Because that's where the bulk of the people actually on the planet, everyday people, the bulk of the people on the planet is over there with the BRICS. The bulk of the people is over there with the BRICS. You can't count Europe and the United States. And he done alienated Canada and all the other countries and stuff. The BRICS has the bulk of the people is over there. Yes, the G7, because of the United States, still has this when it comes to the GDPs and all of that. Yes, we're still leading slightly. So that's what it's at. So no, as I said, he's vulnerable. And that's why I keep up with all of the different things international, with what the BRICS is doing, with the this or that, and where our standing is, where the dollar is at right now. Biden and all of them do it.
He's vulnerable because he's weak. That is the weakest leader, probably in American history.
Ever. So that's where we at. That's why I keep saying certain things can't take his regime down, because America ain't what it used to be. It's just not. And it's been going on for decades. Biden and them knew it. If you look at some of the moves that Obama's administration, some of the moves, because they was afraid, not afraid, but looking over there, different things they was doing as it relates to China and some of them countries coming together. And then one thing that scared the hell out of them, because Japan is still part of the G7. Boy, when they took that photo with Japan and the president of China and the president, that was a scary moment. And a lot of people didn't pay that any attention. Japan has a lot of notes over here in the United States. And when Xi Jinping had them all calm over there, president of Korea, or whatever they call it, presidents and the prime ministers, presidents, whatever they call them, Japan and Korea, he's trying to unite that. And they was over there with the big handshake. And people ignored that. That was big. Japan is still part of the G7, but that was big. They're courting them. Because they just said that the United States has gone rogue. Then you got India, who's growing like wildfire. They over there with them. South Africa's over there with them. Pakistan, all of it. And if they can woo a lot of these Arabs. They got most of the people over there. Most of the people that take up the planet is part. Their countries is part of the BRICS. And the good thing that I like, I'm not sure how it's going to really play out, but different African countries is doing business with them. America's not what it used to be. So that's what I'm saying. When a lot of things when I say like with RFK, different things like that, because Big Pharma, a lot of that stuff is made over in China too. So, but I said he's going to get shamoozed around. And he's going to shamoozed him around a little bit. That's what's going to happen to him. And when that happens, I will come back and say, I told you so. Because the United States is not what it used to be. And I follow all of that, not just domestic, but all of that. You got to looking at who's making moves and who is actually fronting and popping collars on our country. And it's not good. But we voted in a fool. And these people are popping collars and this. And when they was talking about Canada, but some of that stuff that they said that they're not going to sell to the United States, and they're going to sell it over here to them, and they over there taking up meetings and stuff with the BRICS. Like, it's not good. Not good. In Mexico, when their president went over there, when they had one of their summits, she's not part of the BRICS. She's not part. They're not part of that. But they was like, come on over here, and she was over there. That's not good. It's not good for us. No, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Trump has alienated up all these people, and his little fake war over there that he got going on with Venezuela, trying to distract people. You better pay attention to what's going on.
I ain't even follow that. You said something going on with Venezuela?
What's some boats and stuff they blowing up out there? And all of that is against international laws and stuff like that. You ain't heard about that? He's some type of drug trafficking cartel. People like, how we know them was drug trafficking? They might have been, who knows? But he blew one up and killed, I forget how many people was up on that boat. And I think they blew up another one today. That little fake thing, they blowing up them people over there. All that stuff that's going on with that. Pay attention to what's happening with the BRICS, who's flexing. And he got so upset. That's why he was doing all that flourishing on Truth Social. Because when they had that big massive thing over there in China the other day, and who was sitting right up there, and Lil Kim came. I mean, that's not really a threat, but they do have nuclear weapons. And Putin, with his bald head, was sitting up there with his balding head. Yeah, that hurt Trump to see Putin over there bowing to Xi Jinping. That's what's happening there. Pay attention to what's going on over there with the BRICS and watch Trump move as it relates to them.
Yeah.
The United States, watch Trump move as it relates to them. Biden and all of them, that's why they got all them tariffs and stuff on them electric cars and stuff coming over, because they're trying to make the best electric cars, and they got them spread throughout Europe and all over the place. And Biden then put 100% tariffs on them, and was hoping that Elon and them, what they was doing, because they don't want them over here, but people get them, but with the 100% tariffs, and then for what they say, that those are the best, most affordable electric cars, because they doing their best to slow them down. And some of the moves that they were making with AI and different things like that.
Yeah, America is falling behind. America is falling behind, and they don't know how to grow new industries, because the other countries that is embracing this green energy, they know how to transform their petrol economy into an electric economy, and America don't know how to do that. Because I mean, you can make just as much money with the electric that you can with gas, if you just develop these industries and products and
renewable
support
industry,
the support for the cars, the repair places, and all that kind of. They need to develop those industries for the electric cars, but they're so what is it? Is this traditionalist? Don't change things and stick to the old ways.
Talk about global warming because they too sucked in to fossil fuel industry and the money.
Yeah.
And different things like that. They too sucked in, and they allow fossil fuel to make people think that global warming isn't a thing. It isn't a that. It isn't a this.
Other countries are running circles around America when it comes to technology, especially Japan and China. They are eons ahead of us when it comes to this stuff. And
India is catching up. India is they not too far behind. They catching up with all
even
the
Germany
that
and Europe. Over there. Yeah, Europe and Europe is all of those people.
And then they pulling money to don't want to fund those types of things. We just going back to the Stone Age while other people is pressing and moving forward. They're too busy allowing capitalism to completely destroy the country. And they got capitalism too, but certain things they invest in and that they're trying to do over there that we're not trying to do. And as far as if you keep RFK ahead of that thing too much longer, our medical infrastructure is going to be completely destroyed.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's where we're headed.
No, I know.
We are headed there.
No, we are headed there. I know we're headed there. That's why they're gonna schmooze them over to something. Mark my words, they're gonna schmooze them over to something else. That don't mean that Trump not even gonna take a hit.
They've been trying to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, aka Obamacare. And he's part of the plan, and them with this big bill is part of the plan to try to hack into people's health care, and get rid of the Affordable Care Act because they can't dismantle it because it's a law. And I got my own opinions on the Affordable Care. I think it's unaffordable, to be honest with you, for the average person. But I appreciate Obama's attempt. I appreciate Obama's attempt. But that's all we got. Yeah, I appreciate Obama's attempt at doing that. People should have improved on it over time. But besides that, they just trying to get rid of that. And RFK don't give a shit about none of that.
No. And Big Pharma is behind that too, getting rid of that. The medical industry, where they make all their money, they trying to get rid of that too, because they want to continue to suck us dry.
Yeah. Well, look, Elisa, it's been nice. I got to get off here. And if y'all want to call in on YouTube, y'all can. I'll leave the lines open. Y'all know the number. But I'm going to end YouTube and y'all can call in. I'm going to open the lines. I appreciate it, Elisa.
All right, Tyrone. Hopefully by next week, RFK will be schmoozed.
He ain't going nowhere. He is not going nowhere.
Okay. Keep thinking that. Keep thinking that. And then I'm gonna be the biggest I told you so.
I say I was wrong. I don't mind. I'll eat some humble pie, but I don't see it happening.
No, I'm just joking. It's not gonna be by next week, but eventually they're gonna schmooze them to the stag, give them something else. Trust that's coming. That's coming because after what Trump said, I have that too, and I will say I told you also, and we will talk next week.
Okay, I'll holler at you.
All right.
Q&A session is over. All participants are unmuted.